two.
The lovely and majestic red peacock in his natural habitat. Notice as he shies away from the wild Pete. Look at the sheen of Pete's coat, obtained from the drink of hops and the eating of wild weeds, with song and dance, prescribed every Tuesday and Thursday. Nature, a wonderful gift.
Folks, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are the Two-Sided Pod. We're here every Tuesday, Thursday, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. Oh, wait, that's Tuesday, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. That's 4 a.m. Greenwich Mean Sandwich time if you're across the pond. John, how you doing, bud? How goes it?
Well, the slideshow always takes a lot out of me and my computer, and so it takes some
This is
time to
true.
recover.
It'll happen, It's a slippery slope when you first start working through your technical backlog of difficulties. Oh, John, the shit we're dealing with is fucking ridiculous. I'll be honest. We should get a goddamn medal for the shit that we have conquered technologically, socially, emotionally, spiritually. Yeah, there's been a lot of things that we've overcome. Did you know that
there's a lot we haven't.
Well, right. Did you know once I no, now we're just fucking calling people out for things. I still haven't beaten dyslexia. I mean, beaten dyslexia out of my kid. I'm gonna make him read one of these days. Parenting 101. Folks, you want parenting advice? Well, come on down. Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. If you can't raise your kid with a two-sided, sure as hell will. Come on down.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Oh, man. It's good. Poorly, but good. Doing well. Doing just right.
Well, I have to acknowledge the first person on our YouTubes mentioning it by saying first, moan. Thanks for being first.
I don't have good vision in the night times. I saw fist. I was like, nice. I like where this is going. What's up? How's it going? That's a joke. I mean, a fist bump.
Oh, yeah, totally. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Them's all jokes.
Fair share.
My girl, Moan. John, have you been following her? I know I made you subscribe to her YouTube channel, but her shit is fucking fire. Some of the shit that she's been putting out there, it's fun as shit. I'm a big motherfucking fan, John. I feel like I want to be a better motherfucking Here's another one, folks. I've always been talking about our first sponsor, the Galactic Super Friends.
Right.
And we're always we're putting the links up on the stereo and sometimes in the link below. But now you guys can follow his YouTube channel, the Galactic Super Friends. If you follow us, it'll be one of our friends. Galactic Super Friends with the PF, the Friends. Highly recommend it. He's dropping an album a week with all of the shit that we've been talking about for the last fucking 2 years. Highly recommend. Do yourself a favor and go listen to some goddamn music.
Yeah. Thank you to our first sponsor and to our first listener and to our first watcher. And we got some people in the room right now. We got Mindfox, we got Dub, Drew61, CMS, and Jules. Always a pleasure to see the foundation foundationing? Is it foundationing? They're foundationing us.
To conjugate that, John, I foundate, she foundates, he, she, they foundate, we found no. If you past tense, you are foundationing. I will foundation the future. I foundation. I have been a foundation. I will continue to foundation. It's a whole John Wick thing, John. It's a whole fucking thing.
It's like it's the grouping. So when groups of the foundation get together, they're foundationing.
It's going to be a whole new thing. You guys ever tried foundationing? Is that like freebasing? Well, one usually leads to the other, but that's just the foundation for you. What are you going to do?
Foundationing is freebasing, baby.
Yeah. There will be excessive use of other things that shall not be named at some point in the foundationing conglomeration.
I mean, they'll be named right now, but not at some other point.
Right, not then. Yeah. We're all fucking professionals. We don't talk about foundationing while you're foundationing. You don't talk about the fucking foundationing. You're foundationing when you're foundationing. John, it's basic shit, baby. Basic. God damn. Whew.
Speaking of being basic, I think we should just get super basic, do a shot, and get into the show.
That's one thing we can never say we are not. Basic fucking bitches. That's right. Cheers to you, John, you basic ginger bitch. It
Cheers
only gets
to you,
better
buddy.
from here, my friend. Pink, pink, pink.
Mm. Well, howdy.
I don't even listen to it anymore. Doesn't even faze me. Just fucking, I could fucking, you go down under, you get off a fucking airline from Qantas, they fucking line the fucking tarmac with didgeridoos and kazoos. It wouldn't even faze me. I'm like, oh, it's another fucking Tuesday, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, 4 a.m. Greenwich Mean Standard Time if you're across the pond. Oh no, welcome to fucking down under, mate. You ruined travel for me.
I'm John L. Peacock out in Brooklyn, New York.
And I'm my boy Pete in Southern California, jaded by John's music.
And you're listening to Two Sided, a live recorded podcast where each week I challenge Pete with a bit of the two sides of life, the serious and the fun.
Yeah, John, the you and the me, the no and the yes, the ebb and the flow, the push and the pull, the yin and the yang, the Abbott, the Costello, the Kate and the Alley, the Pad and the Tie, the Sailor and the Jerry, the mushrooms and the fucking more mushrooms after you forgot you ate the mushrooms the first time, John.
That never happened to us, allegedly. That never happened to us, allegedly.
Never happened to anyone, allegedly. Because at this point, you're all trying to trick me. I know what this is about.
I will eat
allegedly. I will, but only to prove a point. Aha! If I wasn't a fake, I wouldn't be eating these mushrooms. Aha! That is scientific fact. I make a thesis. I proffer. I test. I result. I record my tests. That's law, John. It's fucking law.
My boy Pete, let's start with that general check-in. No, fine, no, okay, no, just right. But how you feeling?
Well, number one, if you're a cop, you have to tell me. That's the law, John. So I don't want this entrapment bullshit when you're asking me how I am. Are you a cop?
Fine. Okay. Just right.
Okay. Just right it is. I think we established how everyone's doing this evening, folks. I'm okay, and John's a fucking cop.
Well, that's going to lead us into our first lightning round.
Woo!
Woo!
Doppler effects, John L. Peacock. When's the last time I talked to you about Doppler effects, man? Oh, he found my old science books and he just hasn't been able to get enough, John. I hope he doesn't find the old Playboys. Then we're in for a whole different conversation.
Well, I like that it's more as you're coming towards and less when you're going away. You know, lightning round guy.
Yeah, baby, that's how it is at the Doppler science. All right, man. Well, you guys sound like you got it under control, so I'm gonna let you get to it. You know, keep that show high and tight, baby. Like what you're doing. Keep it up. Bye.
Bye. Oh, so polite. He was so polite. He was in, he was out. He was great.
Right. He's a man of science, John. He's a gentleman and a scholar, is what I have found about my time with him lately. Just a good all-around guy, John. Good man.
Yeah. You had to mention your porn.
Not mine.
I'm
holding it for a friend. These aren't even mine. What are you talking about? No. I read the articles. That's, but I tell them to a friend who's blind and he can't get Braille articles from Play. Yep, that's it. Community service. John, do you think you could get community service for court ordered if you take blind people to fucking skin flicks and describe things to them? Like, all right, now this chick is taking off her top. She's got a nice rack. And she says, oh, hey, look at that. I don't think. And then this other guy, he's like, oh, look at me and my friends are over here delivering pizzas. And like, you can write off like an hour, like it's going to be 40 minutes, but you get written off for an hour. Do you think that would work?
Well, yeah, because there is community service for taking blind people to movies and explaining them.
Right. That's what I said.
So
I don't know.
There's no reason why it can't be a porno. It's a movie. A movie's a movie, right?
John,
you're
art.
You're at a cinema. You're at a cinema.
Now you're labeling me and you're negating all of us as a class, and we won't have it. That's what I say.
Well, anybody who's anybody knows the first lightning round of the episode is always a standard Q&A. My boy Pete, are you ready for the questions?
I think so, John. I think I've pretty much demonstrated I'm ready for fucking anything tonight, baby.
Brahms, Bach, or Beethoven?
All right. You answer me this. Fuck, marry, kill. Brahms, Bach, Beethoven. No, number one, Bach. Everyone says, oh no, that just happened. I'm going to say I like them all, John. I love them all equally.
You can't love them all equally.
I'm like Jesus. I lost my train of thought somewhere after the Old Testament. No. The what I meant to say, what I had meant to say, Brahms, Bach, Beethoven. Yeah. I'll take music I don't listen to for 500, John. I'll take shit that I try to impress chicks with on the third date for 1,000.
Well, all right, then we have to augment it because you brought it up.
How about this? How about this, John? The last one and final one. You got to give me my third, baby. You got to give me my third. Brahms, Bach, Beethoven, and Associates. They were the ones who got me out of my DUI. John, I'll never forget. You too. Have you been injured in a horrible musical accident? Well, Brahms, Bach, Beethoven, and Associates can get you the money that you deserve. Finish the chord this flat? Don't like the crescendo? Use retard in the wrong way and now you've been canceled in the musical community? Well, Brahms, Bach, Beethoven, and Associates have got a solution for you. Call now. We can't finish the song, John. We didn't pay for the rights.
got arrested to leave this place. All right. Okay. Next question, my boy Pete. Uh, America or Britain, which produced the most iconic music?
Well, I'm going to say the devil went down to Georgia, John. He didn't go down to Birmingham. So didn't go to Wembley. If you're saying classical, well, no, but I don't know. No, because then you're going to get in the whole rock thing, and now I know some people are going to chime in and be like, "Oh, what about? Here's all these great bands." Like, I'm not even gonna. Don't even start with me. Don't even start with me, John. I'm going to go neutral, and I'm going to say Switzerland. Switzerland made the best music.
ABBA?
You said
No,
it. I
that's
didn't.
Sweden. That's Sweden. Yeah, never mind. Let's go neutral. Okay. Well, then, my boy Pete, let's just make it personal. Which do you personally like more, American or British pop rock?
Pop rock, British. Pop
Okay.
rock, British. If we're doing like classic rock, I would have to say American. If we're saying, yeah, it goes back and forth, but yeah. But if we're talking Brahms, Bach, Beethoven, or did they have
None were.
did they have a John Philip Sousa, John? One of my favorite things is to put on marching band music loud as fuck every morning, 6 a.m. and just, God damn, it's great to be an American. Fucking wake the neighbors up. Let them know what they're dealing with when they move to town. Hell yeah. That's crazy. Fucking, I lived by someone who did that. That's crazy.
Oh, wow. Let's just get down to brass tacks. My boy Pete, Beatles or Stones?
Beatles.
That is the correct answer.
Yeah, I have to. You know. Who would you rather do drugs with? Stones.
Oh, obviously.
Oh, I thought you were going to have more follow-up questions for more.
No, that's the end of our lightning round.
No,
Good job.
Beatles or Stones. That's it.
Yeah.
Fish or cut bait. Fish or chicken. Fish or chicken. We're out of chicken.
Well, that was like the classic question back in the day.
Cake or death.
Cake.
Cake. Oh, we're out of cake, John. So we're gonna have to give you death.
We didn't expect so many cake answers.
What the Bach is actively happening?
Well, that was the classic question in the 70s, 60s, 70s, right? That you didn't have to ask anything else. Music. Hey, I'm starting to get to know you at a party. Beatles or Stones?
Right. Yeah. That seems very one-dimensional now. But
yeah, right.
I guess when things were so simple back then.
It's when Britain had a two-party system, right?
Right. A real basic, John.
Two parties.
Everyone got along, mostly. No, it's fine. That's ridiculous. John, what is our topic going to be? What are we? You don't have it yet. I feel like it's going to be something musical. I think it's going to be something musical. But before we do that, John, I'd like to say welcome, everybody. Everybody who's here on the stereo streets, everybody who's here on the YouTubes with us. Thank you so much. Fucking, we see our super fans, our foundation, our super friends. I just saw super friends. Shout out to Galactic Super Friends. Super foundation out there. We got Faith, we got Mona, we got Julie Prunes. There's a couple more people out here. I know there's Hostile Soldier out in the mix. There's a few more people, but thank you so much for being here. You guys, if you can't catch us live, you can catch us on all the social apps. At Two Sided Pod is our handle. Our social apps. Hit me on the wireless. Call me on the cord phone.
We're
at me up.
We are with it.
You guys like trust falls? You like trust trees? What about link trees? Do you like any sort of tree? Weeping willows, perhaps? I could recommend an arboretum that you would, in your area, highly recommend. Lush. Fucking lush. So dumb, John. So fucking dumb. So dumb. I'm just gonna shut the fuck up and let you take.
And on Stereo Streets, we got, in addition to the foundation we shouted out to before, we got Lolly Be Good, we got Midnight Angel, and Faith C Frequency. Thank you
Oh
all
shit! Yeah, we
who are
got
listening and
Drew
watching
and
live. Yep.
Cunty and the Fob. Well, you already, yeah. All everyone out there, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for coming back. Appreciate it. Let's pop these packets, John, and want to keep going. I guess that's a thumbs up.
I guess that's a thumbs up.
Way of saying yes. Here we go.
God damn it, an entire generation pumping gas, waiting tables, slaves with white collars. Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're the middle children of history, man. No purpose or place. We have no great war, no great depression. Our great war is a spiritual war. Our great depression is our lives.
Oh.
All been raised on television to believe that one day we'd all be millionaires and movie gods and rock stars, but we won't.
We could be.
All done in that fact.
Maybe not. Soon enough.
I'm very, very pissed off.
Do a shot.
I'm with you. But you know what? Working so hard to get all those things you don't need reminds me that you too can join the Patreon of Two Sided for only $5 a month. Work a little harder to get some shit you don't need, but it's hilarious and it soothes the soul. Cheers, motherfuckers. Bink, bink, bink.
Great to see you, Dub. One more.
Uno más.
To a friend.
I don't give a damn. I don't give a fuck. I'm here for the Two-Sided Pod. I just beat all of our friends in poker. I've been poking her and him all night, winning.
I'm saying.
John and Pete, what's up? What do you got to teach me? What do I got to learn? I don't know, but I'm fucking ready and I'm fucking up for it.
Let's go, Faith. Let's go, girl. So good to see you come in. So good you're here. Hey, sounds like everybody's winning. Get that notepad out. John's about to drop some knowledge on us.
Well, we're going to talk about John Lennon.
Here we go. All right. You're going to teach me some things. I'm going to make some horrible jokes. You're going to fanboy out a little bit. I'm going to make some more horrible jokes. You're going to try to sum it up with a little thing, and I'm going to close it out with a great Yoko Ono impression. Oh. That is what's going to happen. That is what's going to happen for the arc of this serious segment.
I see we're ending on a high note, and this is the fun part, by the way.
Oh, this is how it gets fun. But I'm seriously going to be Yoko Ono. So.
I'm doing things a little different for this one. I have a close friend who has been a John Lennon follower and fan for all of her life, and I reached out to her, and she gave me a couple of quotes. So I'm going to start with one of two quotes about.
Well, one
John
of two.
Lennon.
Which one? One of two. Which one?
This one. Ready?
Okay. Oh, thank God. I was unsure. You said one of two, and I became unsure.
He was such a tortured human. He was violent at times. He may have killed his best friend with a punch to the head. He wasn't always the best to women, but he was an abandoned kid, abandoned by his mother and father. He was raised by a cold aunt. He had big feelings and a traumatic start. He lost his mother as soon as he got to know her. He just wanted to be loved, but he had trouble loving himself. End quote.
Wow, that's a lot, but I feel like that's a character description in like a Arthur Miller play. All right. Man, 35, had trouble loving himself, almost killed himself, maybe killed a friend with a best friend. Cold. Okay. Woman, 49 to 50. Aggressive. Ruined the band. Great singer. I don't know.
So I have this in a couple different bullet points. His bio, pre-Beatles, Beatles, post-Beatles. That's it.
Good.
And,
I
and
like
today.
how we're
And today. Yeah.
and well, if he's doing shit today, John, we have a problem because all
It's called
signs are
legacy.
pointing to we have a problem. No, I like how you laid it out, John. Everyone, you guys have your worksheets in front of you. John gave the class syllabus. This is how we're laying it out. We're doing early life. We're doing midlife, the crisis of the Beatles, the crisis after said Beatles, to the life and death of, and today's works. John, I'm ready. Kids,
Well,
get your number 2 pencils sharpened. Scantrons will be in on your desks.
Make sure to fill in all of the oval. Thank you. My boy Pete, I know you don't know much of his background, but I know you know a point. So I'm going to flow with it. So we're going to start with the bio, give you a little bit of the foundation, right?
Yep. Give it to me. Act like I know nothing, John, because I intend to act like I know nothing. I got some good jokes in the chamber, though, John. You just wait. I'm sitting on these fucking landmines, baby. You're going to roll over them and be like, what the fuck happened? That was 2 hours of planning, John. That's what happened from the beginning. Okay, ready? And see.
All right. Born October 9th of 1940 in Liverpool, England, from Britannica. Lennon's fun-loving working-class parents married briefly and late and declined to raise their quick, sensitive, gifted son. Separated traumatically from each of them by the age of 5, he was raised strictly in Woolton, Liverpool suburb, by his maternal aunt, Mimi Smith. So this is the cold aunt who raised him.
I don't want him.
I don't want him either. You go with your Aunt Mimi.
Yeah.
I'm a cold, unpleasant woman. I will raise you until you're of age. You will have a life story that people will write about in your fucking bandmates' histories. Well, fucking get in. Let's get on it. Let's go.
Dad.
Oh, by the way, John, the way, that's Aunt Mimi's voice from here on in.
It's a good one.
Fucking get in.
She wears a house dress and has a cigarette.
Fucking, I can't believe these fucking cunts. All right, everybody in. We've got some cold, hard living to do, kids. Everybody in the fucking house.
Well, his dad refused everything. He just skipped the whole picture. Mom kept on coming back around, right? It's her sister. She visited. She didn't raise, but she visited. She taught Lennon the banjo.
Johnny, would you like to learn the banjo? All right, well, fucking, we've got cold, hard learning to do, so teach the fucking kids some banjo and I'll be back upstairs in the flat. All right, Johnny.
And that's how Mom sounds, John. I like how we're doing character arches here. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
When the whole family does a reunion, it's going to be a lot to deal with.
Well, John was devastated when his mother, Julia, was fatally struck by a car driven by an off-duty police officer in July of 1958. Her death was one traumatic experience.
Would you like to learn the banjo? Oh no, Johnny, there's a fucking copper coming right at me, Johnny. Roar!
Ding, 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 ding.
All right, get in the house. Your mother's dead. Fucking leave the banjo on the stoop. Come on in. You're getting your shoes all bloody. Let's go. Cold living to go. Come on. Up in the flat. Beans are getting cold. Come on.
So, as you can expect, these early events caused a bit of anger and also an intense need for human connection within John Lennon.
See, no, I would say I understand the anger. I do not understand the need for human connection. I feel like that would drive the anger. And like, it's kind of like Dexter. I really want to wrap rooms in plastic and bring my friends here. Yeah. I don't know.
The abandonment issues? No, that's not a need for human connection.
No, man, you got fucked twice, Johnny boy. Your banjo's broken in the street. Your mother's dead. Fucking she's dead, Johnny. Look at her.
Well, at 21, he married supportive Cynthia Powell and promptly divorced her in 1968.
That's too much support. Way too much support. Oh, Johnny, I'm sorry your mom died. I don't know if you like to play banjo, but if you do, it'd be fine. If you don't, that'd be fine too. Oh, get off, piss off. I don't like all the support. Oh, I'm used to cold loving. Don't like it.
Well, 68 was also the year that he married, at the age of 28, independent, unconventional Yoko Ono.
She was an independent, John. We're going to get deeper into her life as we go through this whole experiment that is called the fun. John, when people ask you, what are your go-to karaoke songs when you're at the bar? If Yoko Ono is not your top three, I don't know who the fuck you're going out with, John. That's some bullshit. I believe in experimental, self-love, and breaking up bands. That's Yoko's brand. I stick to it.
All right. Well,
oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Yoko? Oh no.
is that the aunt getting really old?
No, I just tuned in. You guys suck. You said tune in on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Pacific, you said. 11 p.m. Eastern, you said. 4 a.m. Greenwich Meanwich Sandwich time if you're across the pond. Oh no. Yoko.
So with Cynthia Powell, he had a son. They had a son, Julian, born April 8th of 63, who was named after Lennon's mother. And the entire time, she was forced to keep a low profile because they wanted to make him look desirable and attainable through the media. And so Beatlemania forced him to kind of pretend he wasn't married in the press.
That I've used that for all of my relationships. Like, I'm huge in fucking Japan. I cannot be seen with you. But it's mainly for my publicity in fucking Japan, fucking the Eastern Bloc, the former Soviet Republic. I'm huge in Bulgaria. Don't fuck it up for us, babe. The rupees aren't gonna. That's India. I don't. Shekels? No, that's not it.
Ruples?
Ruples. Did we do away with ruples? John, I got to get my business manager on the phone because I'm not going to be big in Bulgaria anymore if I can't understand the fucking exchange rate. I'll be honest.
So, divorce 68, marriage less than a year later in 69 while he was 28 to the Japanese avant-garde artist. And they met at the Indica Gallery in November of 66.
Wait, time out. Who did what to 66 Indica? I was just totally coasting by, like, yeah, whatever. It's a child crying in a checkout counter in a fucking supermarket. I don't know. I'm just looking at magazines. I don't hear shit. And I heard Indica 66. John, you've piqued my interest, sir. What were you saying? And who met? And when and why?
Lennon was at the Indica Gallery, I believe in San Francisco. It wasn't in my initial research, and I was like, I think it's right. And he saw a ladder, and it led up to a little post-it on the top of the ceiling. And so he climbed the ladder, and the post-it said, yes. And he found the artist who made that exhibit, and it was Yoko Ono. And he's like, well, that's the whole reason why I was drawn to her. Had it said no, I wouldn't have been into it.
Man, fuck you, Lennon. Here's the deal, bud. I'm sorry. It's the same thing we deal with celebrities nowadays. Like, well, because you're somebody and I want to know how you feel politically. I don't give a fucking shit. John, I love what you said. If there's a ladder going to Noah and it said, Jacob called, the ladder goes even higher if you use your mind. Fuck you. I don't give a shit. You go find a chick. Man, those were the drugs talking. Indica Fest. Like, come on, man.
Indica Gallery, San Francisco, a ladder leading to a post-it. Yes. And he was with her for 2 years before divorcing his wife and marrying her.
It makes me so angry, John. It makes me so angry. So my friends look at me because I'm super like liberal and it's like, oh, this fucking hippie. And my friends like, you're the only fucking liberal we hang out with. Like, fuck you guys. You're the only conservatives I hang out with. But I realize how they feel about me in moments like this. I'm like, fuck that. Fuck you. Fuck all this. Like, nobody gets it. That's bullshit. That's a con. But something good came out of it, right, John? Like, and that's the thing that we overlook all the stupid stuff. Like, you don't. How many fucking idiots have climbed a ladder in an art gallery to a ceiling of nowhere and just ended up hooked on heroin? Or fucking fell off a ladder.
Right.
The majority of them.
Right. Without a solo career.
Right. But this motherfucker, all of a sudden, Beatlemania. I'm like, well, the ladder's important. But Yoko, you're important too. Man, fuck all that. Time and a place. John, no thank you. I'm going into the rest of this with a grain of salt. Fucking I have a chip on my shoulder. You just wait, John. Ooh, John Lennon, you're going to get it.
All right. Well, to wrap up the bio portion, he and Yoko had his second son, Sean. Yoko, there's a lot of things. Sean Lennon is what he's known as today. And he was born on October 9th, 1975, which also happened to be Lennon's 35th birthday.
Pretty amazing, John. It's if you have your timing down and your birth control is a rhythm method, you can also predict the day of birth as well. It's a very, very fine art. Highly recommend looking into it. Only after you master tantric.
John Lennon met Paul McCartney in high school, and the two quickly bonded over their love and talent with music. And then when John lost his mother, their losing of their mothers pretty early on. Paul had lost his mother earlier in life.
John, did your mother give you a banjo too? Fuck yeah, my mom gave me a banjo, got hit by a car, it was crazy as shit. That's what we're just doing some screen tests right now to see who's going to play the Beatles when we make this movie, John. Right now, hi, my boy Pete, reading for the part of John Lennon. I got hit by a bus. Her banjo's everywhere. It's not a bus, it's a cop car. Sorry. Can I start over? My boy Pete, reading for the part of John Lennon. Oh shit, Mama, you got hit by a bus. My banjo's okay though. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
So, the earliest incarnation were the Warlocks. McCartney introduced George Harrison to Lennon in what was that, in 59, and Harrison and his art college buddy Stuart Sutcliffe joined Lennon's band.
Okay, you cut out their little audio, but we're jumping back because now his son's not born in 75, and now
We're
we're
talking
back
more
to the
about
Warlocks.
Right, so no longer bio, we're talking about pre-Beatles.
Right, pre-Beatles. Right, okay. I just have a hard time chronologically. You know me, John. I set up my closet by colors of suit. I judge my sock drawer by thickness of sock, not by color. So it's a very specific ADHD, OCD kind of thing. So when we don't go chronological, I have a fucking problem. Carry on, pre-Beatles. Kid isn't born, 66 Warlocks.
Pre-first wife, like innocent little boy, right? Yeah, 16 Warlocks. McCartney, hey McCartney, oh I know this guitarist. George Harrison comes along with Stuart Sutcliffe, and there were 3 guitars and one
didgeridoo.
I think at that point Paul didn't even play bass. So it was 4 guitars, no bass, and they cycled through a couple drummers. The second one being who's the drummer that almost was?
Steve Perry.
Oh, you don't know?
Pudding. Johnny Come Lately.
I thought you'd love him. Johnny Come Lately is a pretty apropos because his name is actually Pete Best.
Pete Best, yeah.
Johnny Come Lately, Pete Best. Hey, connections always.
There you go. 100%. Yeah, no, it's one of those trivia. It's like, I would have bet 1,000 on that Daily Double. I would have lost it. But what are you gonna do, John? You gotta fucking spend money, make money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, pre-Pete in 58, they recorded their very first. So this is George Harrison, McCartney, and Lennon. Recording that we have is Buddy Holly's "That'll Be the Day" in 1958. So when they were 18-ish. Holly's group was the Crickets, and that inspired the band to change its name. Lennon would later joke that he had a vision when he was 12 years old. A man appeared on a flaming pie and said unto them, quote, "From this day on, you are Beatles with an A." And thus the Beatles were born.
Goddamn fucking vowels. I'd like to buy an A. Horrible. It's called the Oneaters, John. The Oneaters.
Oh, Neaters.
Pronounce how it's spelled.
Brian Epstein, their amazing manager, entered the scene when he discovered them at the Cavern Club in Liverpool in 1961. So 1 year into the Pete Best years, and he secured a contract with EMI, and John fired Pete Best and hired Ringo Starr, this old guy he was watching at the Cavern Club with other bands. Some say it was out of jealousy. Others say it was just because Ringo was better. We'll never-ish know. But Richard Starkey joined the band, and the Beatles incarnation as we know it was born.
The world was never the same again.
So, Brian Epstein, do you know him?
Yep. Yeah, he was he actually was after he did the Beatles, he was a big studio recorder. He did Air Studios. He was one of the concept producers for Air Studios that was in Liverpool. That was one of the standards that digital home audio was tuned to. So if you had an Air Studios approved logo on your higher end receivers or players, like they could tune into this special tuning that a lot of it was kind of horseshit. It's like the Dolby Digital Plus and like all the different things that you can, like all of those additional. But he was a an amazing producer. He was an amazing, his visions of what he was able to do with them and then moving forward. Like he was a game changer as far as the vision he had for music, but also the vision he had for the technology of recording and producing and giving music to the masses. The things that he came up with, that he was part of, that he spearheaded, that he was on board with, were stunning. Moving forward past the Beatles. So yeah, Epstein was a fucking amazing figure. He was very polarizing in a lot of ways. There was some shit going on, but he was amazing in what he did.
So you are talking about a person who very much did all those things, and what that person did was amazing, both with the Beatles and beyond. That's George Martin. That was their producer. George Martin was their producer, and everything you said was 100% true. You just confused. That's fine.
Sorry,
No, but you were right. That's why I let you keep going, because George Martin was
I'm gonna let you finish.
Figure. Yeah,
I'm gonna let you finish. Taylor Swift is good. I'm gonna let you finish.
Travis
Kelce is the reason fucking Chiefs are going to the show, baby.
But no, really, Martin was. His background was classical. He brought in the orchestras. He brought in the strings for Yesterday. He brought in he played piano and the harpsichord for a lot of their songs.
Right,
he's fantastic.
He's the one who said winter is coming. The Lannisters, the debts shall be paid. Like Martin. Fucking George R.R. Martin was amazing for the Beatles and all things this side of King's Landing.
What Epstein did, Brian Epstein, as their tour manager, was told them to get rid of their leather jackets and long hair and have these crop cuts, which turned into the mod, and wear suits with ties and bow after every single song in a very unified way, and made the thing that started Beatlemania. Epstein was a huge influence. He unfortunately died during the reign of the Beatles and didn't get to see them through to the end. But he really created the image of what we know as the Beatles today.
See, but that was, and the thing about that is he wasn't all about, I don't think he was a visionary of like, oh, let me make this band. This was, everyone at that point had suits. They had everything. Like, cool, keep your sound, but adhere to the norms we know.
Oh yeah.
Keep your hair tight, do the bow so people think you're great. And then it's like, do everything else. That's how babies are made. Do you want to make babies in America? Yeah, I think I do. Then fucking listen to me. Cut your hair, bow. Let's get on that plane and make some babies.
Well, they went nuts for it. The first big one with Martin was Love Me Do in October of '62, and Lennon then wrote the follow-up single Please Please Me. And these, inspired by Orbison, but also fed by Lennon's infatuation with the pun in Bing Crosby's famous lyrics, "Oh, please lend your little ears to my please. Please please me, oh yeah, like I please you."
All right, John. I think it's getting a little too late in the day for this fucking wordplay bullshit you're trying to do linguistically. Could I get some clam sauce in my linguistically? Hey, this fucking guy. John, now is not the time for a turn of phrase, my friend. Now is the time to power forward.
All right, they come to America. They play the Ed Sullivan Theater and to an American audience.
Really big show. Really big show. Really big. Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
Yeah, that famous moment, which started Beatlemania and started the British invasion, as they've called it.
Fucking first they came after our tea, John. No taxation without representation. That's what I told the Stones. That's what I'm telling you.
For this Beatles segment, I have no more research because I expect that you have a lot more.
All right. But all right. You know. John, let's talk about my little friend, Catcher in the Rye. I thought we were going to talk about the big murder, John, because ain't no
Beatles.
fun.
Beatles. We're only talking about the Beatles era. Only the
No,
Beatles
we're
era.
talking about we were talking about John Lennon before, and you just glossed over the whole murder in New York thing.
We're not talking about that yet. That's happening later.
Oh, I thought you just said you're done with research, John.
With the Beatles section of John Lennon's era.
Oh my God.
Come on.
Baby Jesus.
Keep up with me. Watch for the changes.
Make me a bird so I can fly far, far away from here. This motherfucker. Love me do. John, you know that you are please making me crazy. Fuck you, John.
Okay, so
fuck you, John.
You know about their big shift, right? The two phases of the Beatles from 63 to 70, right?
Well, come on, John. When they go to India and take a bunch of fucking acid,
that helped.
Life changes for a lot of people. I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the two-sided PSA. I don't know where you come from. I don't know where you're going. This is the two-sided pod, a way station for the infinitely lost. But what I can tell you, folks, is if you fuck with your mind a little bit, your outlooks will change a lot moving forward. Not always a bad thing, not always a good thing. Get your bases in order, have your touchstones, have your pressure points. Don't take no shit from no suckers. We'll see you next week.
You know who they first smoked pot with? Bob Dylan.
I was going to say John L. Peacock. This motherfucker here. John, let me give you a little, I think now's the time to just interject a little bit of stoner thought process out into the world. Because the stoner world is so vast and so large, but yet it is so small and so contained.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how many times that I have had a conversation with someone about, like, if a piece doesn't break and like you lose a piece, or you like, oh, just it went off in the ether at some campsite and someone else has it and it just fucking took a journey. It's somewhere. If it doesn't break, it just travels the world. It's like a goddamn ship at sea. It just goes somewhere. And at some point, like, it'll either return to you with a story, or you get to have that idea that what if, John, what if the Beatles actually smoked weed for the first time with Bob Marley? No, but what if it was Bob Dylan?
It was Bob Dylan.
What if it was Martha Stewart? See, John, and the story keeps growing and growing. I'm just saying, your mind palace is an amazing place. But sometimes the truth is even more amazing.
So, he had a official roller, as many artists do even today. Someone who just rolled his joints, and he first tried to roll. But Bob actually first tried to roll a joint for the Beatles, and it was Saki. And he's like, you do it. And I forget the guy's name, but he has an article in High Times about that moment. And so he rolled a really nice joint and gave it to John. John immediately handed it to Ringo. Ringo was the first one to light it. And not knowing about joint protocol versus cigarette protocol, which I know you're going to like a lot, Ringo just kept on smoking that one joint and didn't pass it because that was his joint. And so the official roller rolled 3 more joints for the Beatles, obviously one for Bob, and they all had their own joint. We were just walking around with their own joints.
John, I don't give a shit who you are. You could be Ringo Starr. You could be Bela Lugosi. I don't give a shit. You are gonna fucking puff give. Fucking come on, motherfucker.
Come on,
Park
sanitary
Ranger.
Purses. I thought you liked that.
Oh no, I do now. But this is the fucking 60s, John.
Yeah, it is.
Come on. It's like, oh, and you put on a condom. This is bullshit. Why do I feel so offended? You're not gonna pass a joint and you put a condom on? Bullshit.
Paul walked around with his assistant saying, "You have to write down every single word I say."
So here's a little nugget of truth for you, John. And I know for a fact that you can argue this and tell me, no, you're not. But then once I explain it to you, you're like, oh shit, I'm an enabler. I too have a staff of joint rollers in my life. Turns out, if you're just fucking shitty at rolling joints, but you always have a bunch of weed, you can just throw weed at people like, hey man, roll this shit up. And it happens. If you're like, hey, here's a couple grams, roll a joint, like, yeah, but if you want to make people work, you throw things at it. It's great. It's the best ever. That's why I'm not good at it. I don't think I've rolled a joint in like probably 4 years.
Yeah, that's why Bob wasn't good at it. That's why Bob Marley probably wasn't good at it after a while. He was like, I lost my skill. Willie Nelson has an official. Snoop Dogg. We know the people who actually roll the joints for him.
Right. No, and that's why I want you to get better at rolling joints so I can hire you when I win the Nobel Peace Prize for fuckery. Look at this guy. Tom Shenanigans and bullfuckery. Look at him. He wins $1 million. Like, that is going to pay your salary, John. That is our bread and butter. That's our step to the next level, baby.
Yeah. All right. So these stadium shows that they're playing, they couldn't hear themselves. They could only hear the screaming, high-toned adolescent girls in their audience, and it wasn't good. They have a lot of recordings of just bad performances because they couldn't. The monitors weren't loud enough. They could not hear themselves. So Lennon proposed that they stop around the time that they had a shift from the traditional, conventional pop to the psychedelic, and that was the albums of Rubber Soul into Revolver. That's where they say the shift happened. So around 67. And from 67 to 70, they had their psychedelic era.
Right. It was right around 67 when the drugs began to take effect. John, there's a definite shift. You feel in the Beatles music. It goes from like the bubblegum sweet baby making to out there kind of like, woo! Oh, you guys fucking like Pink Floyd? Yes, like that, but Beatles. Fucking A.
It's amazing. You say bubblegum because I was going to mention this, but the time passed. Bob Dylan didn't like Lennon and the Beatles. He called them publicly bubblegum, where Lennon publicly said about Dylan that he was too artsy fartsy. And when they came together and smoked weed, they made up and were friends.
Right. Hey, man, do you want to open a restaurant? Yeah, we should both open restaurants. No, man, we should open one restaurant. Sweet.
All right, as we leave the Beatles era, what's your favorite album and or song?
My go-to, like, I love the White or Sergeant Pepper's. Sergeant Pepper's is one of my favorites. I feel like that is like a go-to. I'll listen to the whole thing.
Some say the first concept album. Yeah.
It was very fuck. All I can think of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. That's not it. All I can think the one where the fucking chick goes out the back sliding glass door.
Glass Onion? No. Oh, you're talking about Paul Theme Pam?
Yeah.
She came in through the bathroom window.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, because that's not.
Everything I can think of now, I just keep repeating Tangerine Dreams and tangerine skies. Nope, that's not it. But all I can see is tangerine dreams and tangerine skies is the only thing I can think of, and that's not even. I know I have half of that right. I'm like, nope.
Picture yourself on a house in a henna. It's under the tangerine skies.
No. Eleanor Rigsby.
Oh, that's great. Yeah,
Eleanor
that's a fan
Rigsby
one.
is probably one of my favorite songs.
Fantastic song. One of my favorites as well. The first, listen to him on the radio.
It's really awful. You're like, this is my sex album. I'm gonna put on Eleanor Rigsby. I just gotta get in the rhythm.
Yeah, Eleanor Rigby.
The church. No, that's years from now.
No. Eleanor Rigby died in a church and a grave.
Yeah, that's it.
No one was saved. Father, not
Father
MacGuffin. So they were gonna do
all the lonely people. Where do they all belong? Come on, John. There's something. Was something about a fucking sliding glass door. Slips through the sliding glass door and the fucking and back and it runs through the forest and the rest of the words. Ding, 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 ding. Nobody heard. Come on, John. All the lonely people. There's something about a glass back door. Into the forest they run. Nobody's having fun. Come on, John. You know the words. We can sing We can sing all of these words because it's not even close.
This is the Beatles with two E's. Anyway, the father was originally they were using Father McCartney, but Paul's like, well, my dad might be a little upset, so they looked in the phone book for the very next one, and that's the name they use.
McKinley.
Muhammad. MacGuffin.
Yeah. Through the back door, into the forest they creep in. McKinley comes to floor. Come on, John.
McKinsey, Daddy. Come on.
I look at all the glass door people. It's a sliding glass door. Come on, John.
Looking through a glass onion. Number nine.
Yeah, we're going to play at the Sphere in Vegas this next weekend. You guys need to show up. It's going to be great.
So I listened to him on the radio, but the first album that was ever like, hey, listen to this whole album was Abbey Road. And so that's always been the favorite of mine. And the more I learn about him, though it wasn't the last one released, Let It Be was. That was the last one recorded. So Let It Be had been recorded and it was just set aside. And was really contentious. And that documentary that was released, the Peter Jackson documentary, showed like they were breaking up at that point. But George Martin brought them back together for one more album, and they were like the Beatles again. They were friends. They gelled one more time with Abbey Road, and I feel you could just hear it through the A side, through the B side.
Yeah, no, they sounded amazing in that album. There was a magic that he was able to capture that was great. At the same time, it's like when you try to get magic and stuff it back in the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, John, believe you me, I'm buying tickets for the NSYNC cruise. But if you ain't Justin Timberlake, I don't give a fuck. And that's the truth.
Okay. Post-Beatles. Lennon quickly created and released the first debut solo album, John Lennon Plastic Ono Band, which featured raw minimalist sounds that followed primal scream therapy.
Fuck yeah, John! That's what I grew up on, baby. It's my bread and butter. I didn't want to tilt the hand too much, but I got a pretty mean Yoko Ono impression in my back pocket that if you ask me nice enough, I might bring out later on. Keep that in mind. Scream therapy. What were you saying?
Next year in 71, he released Imagine, the most commercially successful and critically acclaimed of all of Lennon's post-Beatle efforts. The title track was number 3 on Rolling Stone magazine's all-time best songs list.
Which one?
Imagine, baby.
Hmm. Of all best times, and it's on what did they say the number?
Number 3, Rolling Stone magazine, best songs of all time. It's 3.
Okay, number 3. The 866 Cars for Kids is probably number 2, right?
I would assume so because it's so catchy.
Bro, those kids need cars. Imagine if those kids had cars.
It's hard to imagine. Well, it's easy if you try, Dick.
Imagine all those kids with cars. 866 Cars for Kids.
He didn't want to infringe on copyright, so he changed it a little bit. All right.
100%. That's a true artist right there, John. That's a fucking gentleman and a scholar.
That's right.
Gone too soon. Those kids would have had so many more cars if he just fucking hung around. Goddamn travesty.
Well, so the album also included the track "How Do You Sleep," which was a vehement, a big old response to the veiled messages at Lennon in some of McCartney's solo recordings. And they did bury the hatchet later, but they never formally worked together again. So they were pissed at each other, obviously, right with their first couple albums.
Yeah, well, it's fucking like Hall & Oates or like Milli and Vanilli. Those
Right.
guys did not end well. You know what I mean?
All right. Ono and Lennon moved to the United States in 71. They were constantly threatened with deportation by the Nixon administration. We talked about them a little bit. He would be kicked out of the country due to his 1968 marijuana conviction in Britain, but he believed he was being removed because of his activism against the unpopular Vietnam War. And Nixon, we later found out he called him a menace. He put him on the top of the watch list, and he just was so pissed at Lennon for no major reason whatsoever.
It'll happen, John. It'll happen. I've been mad at a few of the Beatles in my life. No reason. Just aggressively mad at fucking Ringo. What are you gonna do?
Well, 2 years after Nixon resigned in 1976, Lennon was granted permanent U.S. residency. So everyone else loved him. Nixon just hated him. But he got his residency, and he lived the rest of his life in New York.
Yep. Didn't have a real house, John. Lived in a hotel. What kind of life is that, John? It's a wanderer, if you ask me, John. A wanderer. Hmm?
In the fall of 73, he and Ono were separated, and Lennon went to Los Angeles, where he partied and took what they say is a mistress, but I have something about that, May Pang. He released albums including Mind Games and Bridges and Rock and Roll. So that's 73, 74, and 75, respectively. And he famously collaborated with David Bowie and Elton John.
Right. And he moved away from the scream therapy side of his music, right?
Yes, he did. Very quickly.
Well, unfortunate for him, because that turns out was his bread and butter, John. We'll get back to that at a later time. You go on with the life and death of John Lennon.
He and Ono reconciled in 74. She gave birth to their only child, his second son, Sean Lennon, on the 35th birthday.
We heard about him in 1975. We heard about him before. Same birthday as John Lennon, 35 years old. Same day, right?
At that point, he decided to leave the music business to focus on being a father and a husband, and only came back to it in 1980 with Double Platinum, as he was recording that.
The name of his album was Double Platinum.
Yeah.
That's fucking kind of ballsy. This one's called Free Blowjobs Anywhere I Tour. It goes like this: 2, 3, 4. Kind of bullshit, John.
He did not live to see the release of that, because coming from a session and in front of his apartment building, the Dakota, he was shot by a random and unnamed would-be assassin who is spending life in jail. And that's all we have to talk about with that. In 1994, Paul McCartney inducted John posthumously into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, there's nothing posthumous about it, John. It wasn't funny then. It's not funny now. Posthumously. You get it. Never mind. John, what I'm saying is a lot of questions. What did Paul have to gain? There's a whole conglomeration of people asking questions, John. Inquiring minds want to know.
Second quote from my friend Bethany. Quote, right now, it's very interesting with...
A second quote from my friend Bethany. John, if this is what we're going to do, motherfucker, you just wait. My friend Jason says... I'm going to start quoting some motherfuckers, and you're in trouble now. You just wait. So help me.
Hey, you liked the first one that started this whole thing, and this is the second one. You asked for it. You said, here it is.
No, you said this was a quote of someone, of him, but you're like, my friend Bethany said this. Like, I want to know what John Lennon said, not your friend Bethany said what John Lennon thought about in his off time. John, you know what? John Lennon played pickleball, and when he was playing pickleball, he said a couple pretty fucking crazy things. Here's one of them. That was fucking in. Second one was never too late to start dying early. Food for thought. Thanks, Bethany, and pickleball.
Well, I reached out, as I said earlier, knowing the lifelong fan that she is, and it was like, is there anything that I might not catch in my quick research? So these are the two quotes. The first one was, being a tortured soul, all that stuff. You love that quote. Here's the second one. Are you ready?
This is how babies are made. Baba Booey, Baba Booey. Paul is the devil. Howard Stern's penis.
Right now, it's very interesting with May Pang starting to really come out about their relationship and their, quote, lost weekend that lasted a couple of years. They had a really beautiful relationship, and I believe it's the time when John was the happiest. Also, John dissolved the Beatles while wearing a Mickey Mouse shirt at Disney while staying at the Polynesian Hotel. It's where he finally signed the paperwork. He was the last to sign. End quote.
I don't like to take political advice from people who are superstars. I don't like to take social advice from dead rock stars. And I sure as hell don't like to take two-sided quotes from John's friend in fucking Harlem.
Oregon.
Brooklyn. Oh, Oregon? That's better? Mm-hmm. That's a lawless country, John. It's like Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, John. And you wonder why I have second thoughts about the things we do.
All right.
Good on you, bud. Hey, here's to your friend. Thank you so much for your thoughts and sharing of your knowledge. That was great. Like, honestly, I bust John's balls because fuck him and he deserves them. But good on you. Fucking good on you. Cheers.
Yeah, I thought they were out. I wasn't planning on doing that, but
no, very, very like at that point, because as far as I don't know so much about that. I would call bullshit on a lot of that shit. Well, turns out I was wearing a cock ring from my first marriage when I actively was in that high-speed car pursuit with my second love of my life, heroin. Anyway, I think what the whole moral of the story is, ain't no such thing as halfway criminals, John. I believe is the moral of the story, allegedly. So dumb. So dumb. I love it. I hate you. How dare you? You should be ashamed of yourself. Cheers to you, my friend.
Cheers to you. I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to listen to your answer. I have one thing each about his two sons. Do you want them
Here
or
we
not?
go.
You
No,
don't have to.
I really feel like we're so done with this episode, but we're not even close to done. Like, I have 2 more questions with 17 more pages and caveats of I have a diorama that I'd like you to put on these virtual goggles and tell me your thoughts processes. I feel like I'm taking a goddamn SAT with John L. Peacock. You need to know my mother's maiden name and fucking list of my fears? This is bullshit, John. Yes. How many more questions do I have? Because I say yes and, so tell him about his sons and I will talk shit. What do you want to know about the kids?
So this is the whole...
One was born in 1975. His name was Julian. Oh, no.
That's the past, Dan.
Okay, now this
That's
is the
past.
future.
That's
And
a whole different time.
I believe in looking towards the future.
We're looking at today. So today,
one of my favorite places to be. Yeah, love it. I'm in. Sign me up. Tuesday, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, 4 a.m. Greenwich Mean Standard Time on Wednesdays. Yeah, I'm in. Sign me up.
Julian Lennon, his first, just recently came out publicly saying that he hates the song "Hey Jude" because it reminds him of his parents' bitter divorce in 1968 when John left her for Yoko Ono, and he's like, Paul McCartney wrote a great song. The song itself, it's a beautiful sentiment, no question about that. I'm very thankful, but I've also been driven up the wall by it because people quote it to him, and he keeps on remembering, oh, that's when I basically never saw my dad again.
Yeah, no, I'm with that. But at the same time, I feel like he's just kind of skirting the issue because, like, yeah, people keep on saying that song to me, and it's like a 19-minute song, and I don't have fucking time for that emotional giving of myself. Like, give me 3 minutes. Give me Bop. If my parents divorced during Bop, oh, dip dap bop. Dad doesn't come around no more. Yeah, yeah. That is something I can get behind. Fucking 94 minutes. I can travel from Sacramento, California to Los Angeles, California in 7.5 hours and still not listen to my dad being done with my mom's divorce in Hey Jude. This is bullshit. I don't know. I'm just one man talking, John. I'm but one man.
For Sean, War is Over, a short cartoon inspired by the music of John and Yoko, is an anti-war story by Sean Lennon and Dave Mullins that features the Yoko and John iconic anti-war song, holiday song, Happy Xmas, parentheses, War is Over.
Fucking he's biting on his dad's coattails. That's bullshit, Sean. I support the war, not the troops. And I think he needs to get that through his head, too. Find your own path, my friend. Don't live in your dad's shadow. Make your own war song. Ain't that right, John?
Anti-war holiday song.
Oh, yeah. No, I was saying support the war, not the troops.
Hey, cheers,
I did not misspeak. I was very specific. Hey, man, you guys like bombs? Fuck those troops. Oh, that's going to be getting so much hate.
Out of context. All out of context. If you listen to all of our shows, you know Pete doesn't mean that.
Yeah. Anaconda. One of my favorite movies from the 90s. Cheers. Anaconda.
Milton Berle, Anaconda, right.
Yeah.
We got a bit of them pockets to pat.
I know, and thank you so much, everyone on the stereo streets. Thank you for fucking tuning in, you guys. You're the reason we're here. You're the reason this fucking stupidity happened. I want to say maybe take some of this fucking blame on yourselves, right? So maybe own some of this. Don't just show up. Fucking do penance. Like, I don't know if you're Catholic or not, but get one of those fucking whipping sticks and get yourself in the closet. Fucking remember what Hester Prynne's fucking boyfriend did? Do that shit. Literature, John. Boom. I'm gonna pop some packets. I fucked him up with fucking Scarlet Letter right there, John.
Scarlet Letter right there, John.
You can be my Yoko. You can follow me wherever I go. Be my Yoko.
Ah! Oh. Ah! Ah! Ladies and gentlemen, that was Yoko Ono's version of Let It Be, recorded in 2002. Thank you.
I think several Beatles, John Lennon's fans listening to this would probably sue you.
I know. So help me. We have many legal cases pending, but thankfully we are under pseudonyms of John L. Peacock, Esquire Extraordinaire in Brooklyn, New York. Send me your questions. I'll send you his address for all your legal matters.
My mommy's dead.
See?
They met in London. Indica Gallery is or was in London. Why does everything have to be in America?
USA. USA. USA?
Did you hear this story about Sean Lennon in his apartment, I think in New York, actually? Actually, it was not about the apartment. It was about a tree in front of the apartment. So that tree was like the roots were getting into his neighbor's house, and he would not like cut this tree that was on his property because he wanted to like save nature. What the fuck?
That's what I've been saying for a long time, John. And I don't know if you're going to support me in this, but fucking down with nature. Fucking down with nature. Ozone, what have you done for me lately? Right? Not on my flat earth. Not today. Not anytime soon. Ain't that right, John?
You also can't forget Stuart Sutcliffe, who was the original bassist for the Beatles. He also was responsible for forming the band in the first place with John, and he died of brain hemorrhage in 1962. It's a sad story. Well, but he made way for Paul.
Right? But at the same time, hear me out on this, and this is everyone who knows me, like, is it a sad story? Fucking going for a good old brain tumor, like a quick one? Give me a fucking whoo, in and out? Yeah. Don't drag on. Like all the hostages that never, you know what? We're not going to go through that, John. You told me not to.
I hate that fucking song. Eleanor Rigsby. I hate saying the name. I'll tell you why.
Yep.
See, I was in band in middle school and a couple years in high school. And I guess our band instructor was a Beatles fan or something, but we played that fucking song during marching season.
during concert season for like 3 fucking years in a row. I bet you I can play an instrument, or well, I used to play the trumpet. I bet you I can pick that some bitch up and still play it by memory to this day, and I haven't played a trumpet in 30 fucking years.
Right?
Over 30 years.
Bro.
So.
I'm saying, yeah, anyone who played band, anyone who played marching band or played, I played band all through middle school, high school.
Yeah.
But where I fucking got that ingrained in me, I worked at summer camps, and at summer camp, there was no fucking band. There's no band director. Like, on your application, you said, hey, I can do this. I can do this. I can ride a horse. I can fucking start fires with 2 fucking hobos. Fucking, I make a bong out of a fucking avocado and a fucking snorkel. Like, and then they're like, oh, cool, you're in the band because you said you have an instrument. So like all the people who said they have the band, like, here's a shit ton of instruments because they got them from school districts, and like just a fucking shitload of instruments. Like, pick one up, and you have one practice, and like, here's all the songs, and here's like, you have like 6 songs you play every fucking Tuesday, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern.
That sounds right. Yeah.
I don't know. It was one day a week. You had the rodeo, and it was all the whole camp would come, and all the people who were in the band, you'd find a fucking instrument and sit in this area, and you're like, burp, 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 burp. And if you had any fucking sense or wherewithal, you got pretty fucking good at, like, you played 6 songs. There's like 12 notes total. That's it. And so by week 3, you're like, hey man, I want to play drums. Hey, I want to play that. And so you start just playing other instruments, and that's how I learned how to play a lot of shit. Like, oh, I can fucking play tuba. Fuck yeah, I can play tuba. If it's in this key, and if we're saying, go team, go, bump, 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 I can do that. What key are you in? Dumb. And that is how John Lennon formed the Warlocks.
Well, yeah, the Stuart Sutcliffe she was right. There was the first bassist, and when he left, Paul moved over to bass.
Right, 100%.
Pete Best.
100%, John, 100%. But I need you to know that when the Beatles with an A truly came, their first recorder player was your friend and mine, a blast from the past, Muse lover.
Yeah.
Somebody showed up in the goddamn YouTubes like a motherfucking boss with that recorder, goddamn 3-bind my style. That's what I'm talking about. That is fucking dedication, my friend. That is what our bread and butter is about. If you like what you heard, if you can't believe what you see, if you don't understand why we're still here after 2.5 years, well, tune in every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. That's 4 a.m. Greenwich Mean Sandwich time if you're across the pond. And if you're across the pond and you like football, we know you're staying up weird hours anyway. So this ain't shit anyway. So get to it.
Well, speaking of getting to it, that's going to lead us to our next lightning round.
Lightning round! It's time to get down! Come on! Yeah!
Woo!
What's up, John? I'm trying to do my intro a little bit less loud. We've been having audio problems. It was pointed out that the Doppler effect is not necessarily working with our microphone technology.
It's because you're moving towards us, lightning round guy. It's because you're moving towards us.
Is it because y'all moving away, or am I moving towards?
Well, that's spooky action at a distance.
I think we both need to examine our positions in this universe, John, and come back together once we have reconciled our own beings and our own positions. I don't mean to harp on a fucking dead horse, but spaghetti theory makes me hungry. I'm out. Y'all have a good show.
Well, he is, you are Pete, and we are Pete, and we are all Pete together.
Man, Sounds like you've been huffing paint. Bye.
Did he just shame me?
I actively think he shamed you. Bro, I don't know if his segments have gone any better ever.
Well, this lightning round segment is one of your favorites and mine, and I believe even my boy Pete's. That's right, it's accented answers. Accented answers.
Yeah, John. John, I don't want to use the word predetermined, but I will say that I have 3 bald precogs in a tank of liquid telling me that this segment is going to go really fucking well. Precogs. Cheers.
Cheers, buddy. All right. So this is where I ask questions and in specific accents that I request. My boy Pete answers them.
Woo! Don't get me canceled. That's all we ask.
No, it's fine. Austrian.
No. Okay. Oh, all right. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Go ahead. Yeah, that is the problem, John. There's times when you say his Bach is better, and there's other times when you say, "Oh, it's Brahms." Yeah, it's Brahms. Get to the Brahms. But then I realize there's no good times for any of the music. I like punk rock. I drive Hummer. Austrian out. I got nothing, John. I got actively nothing. The only Austrian I could think of was Arnold, and that was the worst fucking. And you're frozen, and that makes me. And you're out of the fucking YouTube. I feel like it's apropos that you canceled yourself out. So here's the deal now. Brahms me once, shame on me. Brahms me twice. I'll be back. Fucking John. All right, bud. Hey, just so you know, I don't know if you realize, but your video is completely cut out. So you can keep going. It shows that we're still going, but your video's out. Okay. Okay. Well, there's maybe a chance. There's maybe a chance that I don't know how this could still be going, but but we're gonna keep talking anyway. And as soon as John gets on, we'll figure it out. So, John, should we? There we go. Do it now. Do it now. Get to the Mozart. Get to the Brahms. Go now. Wait, say that again.
Produced the most iconic music.
Fucking hell, John. Here's the deal. Can't say one or the other, mate. Right? If you fucking see any fucking Americans, fucking Brits get all pissed. If I can see the fucking Brits, Americans get all fucking pissy. I say fucking let them fight it out.
I don't know what happened there. Like, there's too much happening there's this happening, this happening, this happening. I'm having a catharsis of spiritual.
Hey,
bud, there you go. Okay.
You want a shot?
I do, right?
Yeah.
I need a shot.
I need an old priest. I need a young priest.
I need a loaf of bread. I need a stick of butter. I need a carton of milk.
I could use something for my sciatica. My back hurts down here, and it hurts up here.
This is a quite rare mid lightning round shot, ladies and gentlemen.
Well,
cheers. Hey, you're welcome for listening.
You're welcome for something. All right
there. Which do you personally like more, American or British pop rock? Irish, my boy Pete.
That's the thing, John. I've never liked any kind of music like that. There's British rock, and there's pop rock from the US. Neither one's very good. I prefer if there's a fucking lute, a recorder, maybe a violin. Other than that, you can fucking piss right off.
I'm sorry, where was that from?
That was calling from inside the house, John. That was actually upstairs from inside the house.
It sounded vaguely Australian, but then I was like, no, he's pretty sure it's Irish because of the recorder and the lute.
John, we are too far steeped in blood to go back now. We don't look back at what we've just done. We do not.
No.
We look forward. On to the future, John! On to glory! None shall look back! Only onward! Anyway, John, what's the next question?
Final question of this lightning round, finally. Late 60s psychedelic hippie, fresh from Woodstock, my bro Pete, Beatles or Stones?
Say that one more time, because I don't think anyone heard a word you just said.
Late 60s psychedelic hippie, fresh from Woodstock, my boy Pete. The question for you is, Beatles or Stones?
Here's the deal, man. A lot of people say Beatles or Stones. Man, the thing is, it's not about like Beatles or Stones, you know? Because they're both fucking on the ground. So it's Beatles and Stones. Man. Yeah.
That's 100% correct. Thank you. Psychedelic, late 1960s, hippie, fresh from Woodstock, my boy Pete.
The whole thing, John, is you don't want to oversell it, John. You don't want to, my boy Pete reading for hippies, post-psychedelic 1960s stoner Woodstock. Thank you. My agent is John L. Peacock out of Brooklyn, New York. If you email us at twossidedpod@gmail.com, it's twosidedpod@gmail.com, I'll give you my agent's address, his physical address. Thank you.
If I knew you didn't displace it for the 5th time, I'd be a little worried.
Bro.
Oh, crap. Never mind. Let's move on. Hey, we're moving to the short. The short. Yeah, don't point it. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
It's backwards, but look at this. For $5 a month, you too can see the other side of this paper. So dumb. So fucking dumb.
So one of our new segments, the short. That's where I put 5 minutes on the clock, and I'll introduce the segment as precise as possible, and we'll talk until the timer goes off.
John, before we get into this, let me give my thoughts on this new little segment we call the short.
John, when you say you put 5 minutes on the clock and you're gonna give you a description, you're gonna give a synopsis, and this, John, you're not gonna waste much time telling me what the shit's about. I have found, sir, that you chew up my time. My time is precious. This time down here, John, this is my time. I want my time to be the time. I want you to be quick, concise, like a spit guard on a microphone.
All right. Quick and precise. The title is, quote, "In many ways, I think the world has caught up to Tommy Walker." You ready?
The world's caught up to Tommy Walker. All right, let's go through the memory banks. Tommy Walker, don't know him. Johnny Walker, know him a lot. Drink a lot of him. Do a lot of jokes about Johnny Walker. Do drinks about joking. Do jokes about drinking. Perfect. All right, John, I'm ready. John, I'm ready.
Go. The Who's Tommy, recent acclaimed Chicago stage production directed by Des McAnuff, is heading to Broadway. It's going to open for previews on March 8th of this year. Opening night will be March 28th, and the Chicago engagement ran from June 13th to August 6th of last year. In a statement, Pt.1, who wrote the music, lyrics, and co-wrote the book with McAnuff, said, quote, "In 1969, when I originally wrote Tommy with The Who, nobody had ever written popular music songs about trauma. Nobody talked about bullying. Domestic sexual abuse was a subject that was virtually censored."
Oof. Yeah, but he sure played a mean pinball, John. I'm not trying to victim blame, but I mean, in an arcade, I mean, pinball. I don't know, John.
So though it was written in 1969, it tried to get some ground on the stage, but the original, the musical originally ran on Broadway from 1993 to 1995.
All right, now I got to backpedal. God damn it. So it's about trauma and abuse, and it's a play, and he sure plays a mean pinball, and it's from The Who, the song, and he did the show and the thing, and now I didn't know about the show, and now
Wait, you don't know the movie?
no, I mean,
John?
I do know the movie. I don't know I've never watched it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I didn't realize that was, yeah, no, I knew the correlation. I knew the thing, but I didn't know the name. So I thought it was Tommy, but you said the production was named Tommy. What was his name?
The Who's Tommy. It's called Tommy after the album.
Am I fucking high? You said Tommy something. You said a full name of a person. I thought we were talking about a person.
I said Pete Townsend.
Yeah.
Said, quote, "In 1969, when I originally wrote Tommy with The Who, nobody ever written popular music songs about trauma. Nobody talked about bullying." Before that? No, yep. Before that, it's just that it's going to Broadway.
Walker. You said
Tommy Walker. Tommy Walker.
There we go. Jesus H tits, John. I'm not insane. People have to listen and then like I hear it, but I don't hear it. Like I didn't say that shit. You're the worst. You don't lie, but you're even dumber than I am. What the fucking baby Jesus holy hell is happening around here?
All right.
How have the inmates started running the asylum?
We got to the quote, which I always bring in through the article. So, quote, "In many ways, I think the world has caught up to Tommy Walker," end quote. McAnuff, who also directed the original production, said in a statement.
McAnuff. Johnny Walker McAnuff. That's what you said. And your whole thing was like, we're talking about Johnny Walker. And that was like, all right, I don't know about Jimmy Walker. I know Johnny Walker. I know JJ Walker. And I'm Dynamite. Ha ha ha. Dynamite. And I'm putting all these jokes together and like, oh, it's fucking about Tommy. Fucking pinball, John. Why don't you just goddamn say it's about the fucking Who play? Why you gotta be so obtuse, motherfucker? This is a right angle show. Quit being obtuse in this bitch. All right, maybe we'll accept a parallelogram or two, an isosceles, perhaps, but quit being obtuse.
All right, to finish that quote from McAnev, which makes it exciting.
Are you deaf, dumb, or blind?
Yes.
You're playing a mediocre pinball.
I got a supple wrist. I got a supple wrist.
Jesus Christ. In accordance with Megan's Law, John, you can't say that on this show.
Quote, which makes it exciting to revisit The Who's Tommy for a new generation who, possibly more than any other, has a broad appetite for all kinds of music and storytelling. End quote.
Well, folks, if you like what you heard, if you can't believe that we argued for 5 minutes about where pinball aggressive plays come from, well, that's a little bit of a taste of what you'll get from the two-sided After Hours. Brought to you by Showtime and Cinemax. Wait, it'd be Cinemax, right? Yeah.
It would be Cinemax, yeah.
Two-sided After Hours on Cinemax. So dumb. But for heaven's sake, John, I just don't know what pinball has to do with our lives anymore.
More than ever, my boy Pete, more than ever.
Man, I got 64-bit fucking 20 years ago. Why you got to be bringing pinball into my shit?
Well, you got a supple wrist, man.
Again, you cannot say supple or moist. Those are 2 words that our sponsors said you cannot say.
I'm not distracted, buddy. I'm not distracted by any of the buzzers.
No, I know you're not, but I am. And you're lucky I have a shot here, John. If I didn't have a shot in one hand and a drink in the other, I fucking put hands on you, motherfucker. But turns out I do. So let's agree to disagree. Cheers, bud.
Cheers.
Bink, bink, bink.
Cheers, everybody. Almost shot that out. Woo.
I think we're having a lot of you almost shot that out. If I can move my spit guard. Turns out my microphone wants me to spit in it. I keep hitting the spit guard and it keeps telling me, shh, just go ahead, spit in me. P's and T's need to be a little hotter, baby.
Our last segment, my boy Pete, is this will be a quick one for sure. So for our final segment tonight, we're going to talk about Marxism.
The meaning of life.
Part 1.
Oh, you fuck. You active piece of fucking shit. Let's go ahead and rewind this because I don't know if anyone else heard what you just said. John said it's going to be a quick, easy one. We're going to talk about Marxism, part 1.
We're going to do a brief bio and talk a little bit about the Communist Manifesto. Nothing else. Nothing else.
I could be a fascist anarchist. It still wouldn't change the point that I still have to bum rides off people. Okay. Shout out to Ferris Bueller. Fuck you, John. You son of a bitch. Here's the deal. John is trying to actively cut the wheat from the chaff. John's like, we have 12 fans I need to get those fucking true believers down to 4 people who will brand themselves. Like, Jesus Christ, John, let's get to 20 and then talk about branding. John is about specific content and specific timelines. I'm like, just let's open it up to the public, baby. Because there's a lot of people who need to know about the Communist Manifesto. And John's like, we will talk about Marxism 2 days a week, every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Pacific, but that is also Wednesday, 4 a.m. Greenwich Mean Sandwich Time. Technically 2 days every week. Jesus, John. Aggressive. Don't get me canceled. Don't sign me up for that. I believe in logic. I believe in the betterment of people and society. I believe in casual Fridays, John. I believe in Taco Tuesdays. I believe in buy one, get one free shot in a beer. John, I don't believe in much, but I believe in us. I believe the children are our future, John. I believe I can fly. There's not a lot of beliefs that I hold so dearly to my soul, but I want you to jump off this roof because I believe you can fly, John. And that is how we get the real believers to get casts. How do you know the true believers? With the casts on their feet and the brands on their asses. Too soon? Too soon.
Two-sided.
Two-sided. All right, bud. I give. Let's talk about Marxism.
All right.
Listen, fucking stop me if you've heard this one before. Shut the fuck up. It's YouTube. We had like 10 viewers. We're down to 5. So you're like, let's talk about the Communist Manifesto. John, you ruin viewership. You're just like, hey, you guys want to see it? You guys want to see a dead body? Like, what are you doing, bud? You got to ease them into the dead body. You know what I mean? Like, you guys want to go on a nature hike? Hey, you want to talk about the betterment of society for people as general society members? Shh, follow me this way. John, it's called the Primrose motherfucking Path. John, this isn't the first church I've started, but it won't be the last either, John. Subscribe and like for tips to start your two-sided following. Shh, John, you're on your way to greatness, bud. All right.
All right. Basic overview of Marx. Karl Marx was born May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, of 1818 at Trier, Rhine province of Prussia, which is now Germany, and died.
Spicy, actually, and that was one of the capitals of guacamole. So
people thought it was Mexico. Turns out,
no.
Rhineland.
Turns out,
Prussia.
Rhineland for his birthday. Happy Cinco de Mayo, Rhineland. Guacamole.
He died March 14th, 1883. So lived a nice, happy life in London, England. Revolutionary, sociologist, historian, and economist.
I'm with you. All right. So far, John's just stating facts. Thus far, we can all agree that John is stating exactly things that have happened.
General overview. So big thing.
No editorials happening.
Published with Friedrich Engels, the Manifest der Kommunistischen Partei in 1848, which is commonly known as the Communist Manifesto, the most celebrated pamphlet in history of the socialist movement.
Spicy, John. What people like to call spicy.
Super spicy. Short, concise, spicy. It hits you with not a lot.
Right. And and here's the deal. Like I you know me, I'm a motherfucking devil's advocate all the way across the board, unless I find a hill and then I'll die on it, because I love hills, great views, great places to die. However, devil's advocate. So super spicy, whether you like it or not, it is quick, concise, and as much if you hate it or love it, whichever side you're on, read it. It's the same, like just it's a quick read. Fucking
Yep.
you can read it taking a shit a couple times a day. I don't know what your bowels are like. Fucking have a chili con carne night on Friday. Finish it Saturday and Sunday. You'll be good.
Well, on the other hand, he was also the author of Das Kapital. He called Volume 1. He never had a Volume 2, but it was huge. It's huge. It is a very thick read. And these two books,
Das Kapital, Volume 1. It's a lot like John L. Peacock's Marxism, Episode 1. There's not an
Part one.
Episode 2. We just fucking throw it out in the ether. It's real big with the kids, but there's no fucking follow-up. Folks, if you like John, then you'll love what he comes up with the next episode.
So these two books, along with other writings by him and Engels, form the basis of the body of thought and belief known as Marxism. He was the oldest surviving boy of 9 children. His father was a successful lawyer, a man.
You're just glancing over shit. The oldest surviving boy. I had to kill my younger brothers. All 2 of the olders, 6 of the youngers. I am the oldest.
He let the girls survive because they don't matter. Yeah.
Jesus, you said it, not me, John.
No, Marx said it.
Yikes.
So his father,
manifesto.
Heinrich Marx, was a successful lawyer, a man of the Enlightenment, and devoted to Kant and Voltaire, who took part in the Constitution of Prussia. And so, forward-thinking man.
A giver.
A giver.
A caring nurturer of the people.
The Catholic Church had a stronghold on Prussia, and so the schools that he went to were looked at for harboring liberal teachers and pupils, and it was under police surveillance. Several of his fellow students and some of his professors were arrested during his high school and university tenure.
Yeah, they should have been so fucking liberal, John. It's a fucking easy fix. Stop doing that. John, whatever. Welcome to New York, 2024.
Right? He started at the University of Bonn, but then moved after a year in October of 1836. He enrolled at the University of Berlin to study law and philosophy. He had more wiggle room there.
And you know how much we like wiggle room in this show.
After a 7-year engagement in 1843 that is, he married Jenny von Westphalen. She was attractive, intelligent, and a much admired woman. 4 years older than Carl.
For the Berlin von Westphalens?
Yes.
They're a well-known family, John. Well done. Well done.
So her father followed a follower of the French socialist Saint-Simon, was fond of Carl, though most in the family was opposed to the marriage. And Marx's father also feared that Jenny was destined to become a sacrifice to the demon that possessed his son.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'd like you to repeat that because I was about to respond to some fucking chatter on the YouTubes. Someone said they were lukewarm to wiggle room. I was like, oh, give it time. You'll warm up. But I couldn't type it because my fucking... So what were you saying about the things? John, what is that about?
So Jenny's father was a follower of French socialist Saint-Simon and was fond of Carl, though others in the family opposed the marriage, where Marx's father feared that Jenny was destined to become a sacrifice to the demon that possessed his son.
Oh, yeah. Oh, John, I've seen it 100 times. Boy knows too much. Father sees boy. Father understands boy. Father's like, hey, you're going to kill the girl. Sacrifice for the demon that is my son. It's a fucking common day story, John. Yeah. Yeah. If I had a nickel for every one of my friends who had a boy who's like, fucking the kid's going to be a sacrifice to a thing of a thing. Crazy town. You know what I mean? I get it. I get it.
So all of their known children are girls. They had at least 7 daughters.
Okay.
There might have been some that didn't last long, and it's not recorded. But there's So that's why I say that. But they had 7 daughters.
So what you're saying is there's 7 brides, and they're all looking for 7 brothers. Is this not correct? Because I sense a very good musical coming on. Listen, Svetka, Smelta, Smolda, Lida, Londa, Oloda. Hey, we dance and we have the times. There is everything we want times. John, come on. We find brides for brothers. I actively don't know what's happening now. I'm glad it was a good concept, but that was something we should have worked and figured out in post.
Right. It was a good callback, but no one remembers the callback because we don't post any of these things. Anyway,
100%.
So quickly after their marriage, they moved to Paris. It was the center of socialist thought and the more extreme sect that went under the name of communism. There, Marx first became a revolutionary and a communist and began to associate with communist societies of French and German workingmen.
And that's when he was approached by CBS to make a sitcom called, Well, That's Carl. Well, the Communist Party is for me. It does for you and does for 3. Hey, Carl. Oh, that's me.
There he met Friedrich Engels, a contributor who was to become a lifelong collaborator and friend. And in their pages appeared Marx's article, Zur Kritik, I'm not going to do it, something in German, which means toward the critique of Hegelian philosophy of right.
Jesus Christ, John. You can't even say it in English. Why would you even attempt it in fucking German? Are you an animal?
I could try.
Do you Finkensteigen,
Sir,
Schlugen, Blugen,
Kritik
Fjorden.
der
Yep.
Hegel.
That means bread. That means cheese.
Rechtsphilosophie. Oh, I did it.
No,
that was better than my English.
That means bread and cheese philosophy.
This is the often quote assertion that religion is the quote opium of the people. Opium of the people. Yeah. You know that one.
But here's the deal, John. John, no. After the Sackler family hit big, it's the opioids of the people. That is where we're trying to get on the ground floor. Because if we can reinvent the phrase, John, we're going to goddamn make a mint. This guy gets it.
So
also, do you know where we can get some opium? It's not for us, it's for a friend.
It's also translated into English as opium of the masses.
Hell yeah. John, I'm telling it's unfortunate. Okay, say what you will. Say what you will about communism, Marxism, fascism, anarchism, capitalism. Put your political views aside.
Sure.
Let's just aggressively pick apart religion. Folks, that's what we're here for, isn't it? No, that's not it.
No, that we're to become a religion, my boy Pete.
No, John. We are a movement.
A philosophy, a state of being.
Exactly. Now you're getting it, man. Here's your finger symbols. Clap them when everyone comes into the fucking gates, bud. That's how we get them.
Not clap them, chime them, baby.
Shh. And that is why you're the fucking musical director, John. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So I'm just, it is the opium for the masses. It is the dulling down of the senses. It is, granted, you don't have to go to the opposite, ultimate, penultimate of, oh, there's nothing, there is nothing, I am nothing, there is.
You don't have to be a
agnostic.
nihilist. No,
you don't have to be nihilist. You don't have to be. There is a sense of being where you just like
agnostic is more the middle ground, right? It's not looking into the dogma of a organized religion.
Right. It's the. But at the same time, sure, join a thing, be part of a society. That's great. What do they do? Be part of that. Help the community. But fucking, you try and wash my feet, I'm gonna punch you in the goddamn mouth.
Hey, we have a society here. If you have a society you need to join and you haven't found it yet, look to the two-sided.
Right. And I promise you, we will not try and touch your feet unless that is what you pay for in the Patreon. And then we will touch the fuck out of your feet.
Right. It depends on the tier.
Right. For $5 a month, there's no feet touching. For $48 a month, we'll talk about touching feet. For $148,000, you can't get your feet away from us.
Yeah, it's all feet all the time, baby.
Damn straight. I don't mean to fucking tromp around all barefoot and shit. You guys get it. You see what we're doing here? Well, I'm going to kick in the door and give a little more. Shh, John. Tell us about what you mean.
Workers of all countries unite.
We lost two more viewers between Marxism and fucking foot fetishes. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
But we gained super fans. That's what I'm saying. It's all about grooming, breeding, consuming the super fans.
Yikes. And also be fucking gentle on the clutch. Definitely use 2 feet, but pop that motherfucker.
Right. Workers of all countries unite.
None of us is as dumb as all of us.
The Communist Manifesto, also known as Manifesto of the Communist Party, the pamphlet came out in 1848. It was written by Marx and Engels to serve as the platform of the Communist League. They commissioned them for it. It became one of the principal programmatic statements of the European socialist and communist parties of the 19th and early 20th centuries.
I'm in, John. Why have we not written a pamphlet? What, John, do you understand the connections we have with printing presses?
No.
One of my closest friends is related to Eli Whitney, his grandson, who invented the cotton gin. So I was like, that's close to a printing press, John. Real close. Thanks, Industrial Revolution. We've come a long way.
So one of the early quotes that is oft used is, the history of all hitherto existing society is the history of class struggles.
You can take a fucking peacock out of the trailer park, but you can't take the trailer park out of the peacock. Right?
Yeah, essentially.
Same thing. I get it. Marxism, man. That's pretty cool.
Well, so they're talking about the sweeping history of class society, in particular the struggle of the bourgeoisie against the rotten feudal system, and explain how the bourgeoisie, having taken power in one country, is forced by its own system to revolutionize production on a world scale and with this produce its own, quote, grave diggers, the proletariat. And so capitalism needs to grow in order to survive. And so it has to move beyond its borders. And to do that, it has to subject others to being the workers, which is the proletariat. It's a basic thing we all know.
Right. It's a basic thing we all know. Like I love it, but when you, because it is, we've all had to read fucking Orwell. We all had to fucking fucking UK, growing up in a capitalist society, we all know the basics, and like this is what we're taught, and this is the thing, and this is how it is, and this is this, and that is that. But John, can we just take a moment and fucking recognize what a great term bourgeoisie is?
It's pretty great.
Right? It's so good. Like, if I had to have a menage a trois, it would definitely be with a bourgeoisie.
He was writing in German and he used bourgeoisie because he knew it was such a great term, which is a French term.
Because this guy fucks. We know that. He fucks.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Well, it's about time somebody starts drinking this goddamn show. Tuesday, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. That's 4 a.m. Greenwich Meanwich sandwich time on Wednesdays. That's a bunch of bullshit. Well, let's fucking drink. Drink.
Cheers. Gal. All right, just a couple more things about this. This is just a cursory introduction.
Cursory introduction. This is fucking, I need you all to fucking, when John says cursory introduction, all the things he says next, put bullet points in your journals that you're going to refer to back at the Two-Sided Pod part 2 of Marxism, because this shit is where it hits home. I promise you, if you know John's writing style, like I know John's writing style, John, let's get to it, bud.
So after it became widely known, Marx and Engels revised and republished it. It's to the version familiar with the readers today. It has been widely read around the world since the late 19th century and remains the foundation for critiques of capitalism. It has inspired calls for social, economic, and political systems organized by equality and democracy rather than exploitation.
I don't know if I would agree with that, John. One of my favorite things is exploitation. How do you think we started the show, man? On the backs of the people we have broken to stand on to get here.
Wait,
that's exploitation. Me? Yeah, John. I exploited you to take this show to the next level. Fuck the gingers, up with Two-Sided.
A quote, a specter is haunting Europe. The specter of communism, end quote.
Ooh. Who knows? Only the mask knows. The specter of communism. John, I feel like we need a Foley artist. Again, with the fucking spit card. We need a Foley artist with 2 coconuts. Fucking breaking the celery and like, oh no, not the specter of communism. Yeah. That's what we'll do next time, see?
So dig this. This is something, again, ingrained in us now, but they discuss the cruel, exploitative reality of what happens when workers are forced to compete with each other and sell their labor to the owners of the capital. This occurs when social ties that used to bind people together are stripped away. Workers become expendable and replaceable, a concept known as a, quote, cash nexus.
Yeah. John, how do you think I've made all the money I've made in the world? I have exploited everyone around me. I have lied, cheated, stolen?
Let's say stealed. I like stealed.
I would say Stalenzi because I did some of it in Italy. John. It is a very beautiful place. If you can get on the coast, I highly recommend. Do some Stellenzi in Italy. Very nice. John, yes. And what you're gonna say to me, and I feel like as I'm talking, yeah, motherfucker, this is what capitalism inspires. Because you're gonna grind. You're like, fucking pay me. If you pay me, John, that is what I say to work. Like, you do not get me. Like, I do my work. I'm 40 hours. Like, if you want to pay me, I will stay here. If you approve stupid amounts of money, I will come back. Believe you me. I have gone and taken a piss. Like, I just made $4.26 taking a piss.
Passive
This
income.
is great.
Passive income.
I'm saying, John.
Landowners and inheritors get passive income. Nobody else.
Well, every time I take a piss, I get a little passive income. That's my retirement. That and post-it notes.
So this section of the Communist Manifesto is the big argument is that capitalism cannot survive because it has to feed on itself and grow, so it's so bloated that eventually the proletariat, the workers, will have to revolt because they don't have conditions to live.
Yeah.
The quote is, "What the bourgeoisie therefore produces."
Bourgeoisie.
What
That's
the
our favorite word.
We love it. What the bourgeoisie therefore produces, above all, are its own grave diggers. Its fall and the victory of the proletariat are equally inevitable. It gets, end quote. So it gets so bloated, Roman Empire-esque, it has to fall.
Okay. All right. Yes. Yes and no. Yes and no. Because you're putting terms and ideas to a system of financial governance that is doomed. However, you're not taking into account that every system of government is doomed. There's no specific there's no government entity, there's no system of governance that has lasted more than, what is it, 1,000 years?
Oh, in single form, three-ish, two-ish, 100 years.
Yeah, no, there's
the dynasties,
because they've had the dynasties, they've had those, but there's always an uprising, there's always a thing. So you can say that is this, but it is.
We're actually the oldest form of democracy, or longest form of democracy, even older than the Roman Empire, or longer.
Right. Longer. Well, we had fucking bell bottoms, and that fucking buys you at least fucking 60 years.
So your point?
I'm just saying, John, that the idea of Marxism, the idea of putting a label and a name on a thing, and this is how the proletariat, and this is how the bourgeoisie, this is how, cool, you've just named a bunch of things that have been in existence for thousands of years, that will continue to be in existence for 1,000 of years. That this is, it's not an idea of democracy, of
governance,
political governance. It is history. This is what is going to happen. Right. So name it what you will, name it what you won't.
Monarchy,
whatever, yeah, oligarchy, democracy, dictatorship, whatever you want to name it. Cool. It's great or horrible for X amount of years. And however great or however horrible it is, it's gonna fucking end because of this equation, because of this human concept, this idea. You know what I mean? Yeah. One of my favorite, and it's something I cling to, unfortunately, but it's you can it equates to everything. Like in world, our history as a people, however good or however bad it is, it will change. So you're fucking riding high on the wave. Fuck off. Don't get too comfortable.
Right.
You're gonna crash. If you're low as a motherfucker, I can't get any lower. Don't worry about it. The crest will come and you're gonna pop up and you're gonna get some.
Right.
So it doesn't matter. You have to be able to adapt and you have to be able to understand how to adapt.
No.
I just, when you start putting these ideas, and yeah, democracy is a governance idea, but then you start putting the political geospectrum into it.
Well, we've all seen Gladiator, right? You know, the Caesar was overthrown by the gladiator. The lowest became the highest.
At two, Bruce. At two. Good night, Mona. Good night.
To wrap this one up, we're going to end with the 10 goals of the Communist Party as written by Marx and Engels in the Communist Manifesto. So we just got the 10, and that's it for this segment. You ready?
Wait. Yeah, we're going to go 10.
10 goals.
We're done with this. 10 goals.
Yep. First goal.
John. So before we get into it, because it's a great idea, I need you to think about this. The two-sided manifesto, right? And we need 10 goals. So folks, here's where the rubber meets the road. If you like what you're hearing, and don't try and put it in the chats because no one monitors these. This is fucking yelling at the ether. This is screaming at the closet that no one hears when you're yelling in the coats at a fucking party because you don't want to be there. Believe you me. I'm just saying. Send an email at twosidedpod@gmail.com. That's TWO-sidedpod@gmail.com. Just give us one, give us two, give us 3 of the goals of the two-sided manifesto, because we will take those into account. I'm not saying we're going to rank them and we're going to put them in, but I know we can all name 5 off the top, and I think those are the top 5, and don't be ashamed if you can. Anyway, John, let's read the communist 10 goals manifesto and see how these equate to our life goals as a people.
Number 1, abolition of property in land and application of all rents and rents of land to public purposes.
Listen, everybody who lives here, that's very good that you have property, but what I need from you is for you to give me property as for the people's, and I put all people I want on your property. It's better for all people.
Number 2, a heavily progressive or graduated income tax.
Here is what happens. Every time you make more money, I get more money. It's not silly, it's logical. You come up, I come up. We come up. It's good.
Number 3, abolition of all rights of inheritance.
Here's the deal. People call you mama's boy, papa's boy. But here is nobody's boy. Yes, I know you are a woman. But it is old Russian saying, only mama's boy, papa's boy, there is no girl's boy. Okay, good talk.
Here's where it gets a little fun. Number 4, confiscation of the property of all immigrants and rebels.
Here's the deal. It's very easy to talk about pride of nation, but it is very hard to back up pride of nation. So, anybody who is coming in who is not
It's immigrants. It's immigrants who are going out. It's the people who left.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Listen, anybody who's coming here and says, I was gone once and I come back. I emigrated and then immigrated.
There you go, buddy.
Oh, listen, now we take your property too for questioning. Everybody,
Rebels.
nobody get. Oh, he's coming right for us. You're a rebel. You're a rebel. Check under your seat. You're also a rebel. All property is back for people. Anyway.
Number 5. Centralization of credit in the hands of the state by means of a national bank with the state capital and an exclusive monopoly.
Bro, listen. I talk cool like kids. Do you want all sorts of people taking money? That's crazy. They're not backed, but what happened? You robbed them? Nobody takes care of your money. One bank, one time, one people. Let's hang out. National Bank.
Number 6. Centralization of the means of communication and transport in the hands of the state.
Are you tired of hearing fucking Sweet Home Alabama? I am too. That is why we take over all radio. Now, all we hear is accordion, didgeridoo, kazoo hits all times. Also, keep people up to date on flights. Hey, what are flights? There are no flights. Okay. Listen to didgeridoo. Have fun.
Number 7. Extension of factories and instruments of production owned by the state, the bringing into cultivation of wastelands, and the improvement of the soil generally in accordance with a common plan.
Okay, basically, here's the deal. I don't know what this one means, but
Someone does.
But here's the deal. You're going to give us everything you possibly can. If you don't, we'll fuck your house. Bad. Okay. Thanks.
Number 8. Equal liability of all to work. Establishment of industrial armies, especially for agriculture.
Oh, here's the deal. Bro, look at these fields. We have big fuck off fields. I got 4 brothers. We cannot harvest all these wheats. We cannot take all these grains. Oh, none of us are as strong as all of us. So what I need from everybody is to harvest all of my grains from all of my lands. I mean, our lands. Our, fuck off, work. All right.
Number 9, combination of agriculture with manufacturing industries, gradual abolition of all the distinction between town and country by a more equitable distribution of the populace over the country.
I'm sorry, bro. I didn't even hear that one. I was shopping at local mall. I found board shorts from Town and Country.
This is where Pol Pot went a little extreme, and he made the town people go to the city, and the city people go to the country, and killed a whole lot of his own people.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't listening. I was shopping at strip mall for Town and Country shorts. Here's the deal. Do you like wife swap on local TV shows? Well, it's entire population swap. And then hilarity ensues.
Oh, or genocide, or both, or... Anyway, number 10. Free education for all children in public schools, abolition of children's factory labor in its present form, combination of education with industrial production etc.
Jesus Christ, John. It's hard. It's not you, John. It's not the people's movement that's so difficult for me to digest. It's mainly the drinking and the focusing that's hard for me to do at this point, because you're reading the words so, and I know the fucking 10 goals of the manifest. I know them, bro. If we're at a meeting and like we're on point, like we're wearing our jackets,
Right.
fucking doing the handshakes,
Right.
I was saying, you know what I mean?
Right.
You're with me.
I
Don't
know.
report me. Right? Don't report me.
Never.
But bro, it's so hard for me to listen to these things, then hear them. I can't. So we got to go to school to do the factories and
Last one. I'll break it up. Free education for all children in public schools. 1. Abolition of children's factory labor in its present form. No child labor. 2.
Okay, I'm with the first one. I'm not with the second one. Keep going.
You want the children to labor?
Fucking, they got to learn somehow.
Okay.
Keep going.
Last one. Combination of education with industrial production. So they teach them, shop. You ever have shop class or homemaking?
Man. That's how I learned to fucking make bongs.
Yeah, exactly. That's that. So is get rid of labor laws, children labor, exploitation.
Teach them a trade.
And free education. Those three things combined.
Yeah,
That's
make them learn some shit. John,
yes.
John, there's nothing wrong with that. Here's the deal. If you don't put your kids to work and not put them to work, but then put them to work later from the things you've taught them to do,
right,
John, how is Deion Sanders' son going to ever win any college championships? Wait. Sorry. That's too close to fucking vest. John, what I meant to say, this guy gets it. John, what I meant to say is exploiting of our exploiting. No, if we don't fucking exploit our kids, that's what they're there for. We grew up in the fucking 80s. You were abused and used. You were a tool. You were nurtured a little bit, but your kids are tools. Fucking exploit your kids.
John Lennon.
Yeah. If you don't fucking, I don't know what that means. I'm not sure. John Lennon. Yeah. If you don't fucking throw him to the fucking Yoko Onos of the world and scream therapy, then nope.
Well, he was John, a Marxist.
He was it's perfect.
The sources for this episode of Two Sided have been first segment, johnlennon.com, Britannica, Biography Channel, New York Post, thethings.com, People Magazine, and my friend and lifelong John Lennon fan, Bethany. Second segment, Britannica, thoughtco.com, learningforjustice.org, and The Communist Magazine, and the short, Deadline Hollywood.
That's a lot of fucking references, John.
I did a bit for this one.
You did, but I feel like a lot of your references were talking to your friend in Oregon, and I'm gonna go ahead and call you on that. She gave you a lot of things, and you're like, I just cited a bunch of things for my friend in Oregon. So, John, shout out to you making friendships across the board, because that is what exploitation is about. If you don't put the people to work, how can the people benefit from the work of the people?
Good question. Any sources on your end, my Bo Pete?
No, my sources are basically questioning all yours.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Second guessing the things you have done, the places you have been, and all of your preconceived notions of where we're going in the future.
Speaking of second guessing, before we come out of this episode, we would like to tell the people who are watching us live on YouTube that we are actually going to continue this into our green room to give you
Welcome,
give you all
everybody.
a little glimpse into the after show party that we normally reserve for our Patreons. So stick around. But before we do that, my boy Pete, is there anything from this episode you'd like to take a second glance at, a second look, a second thought, a second opinion? This is Pete's Rich Action Corner.
Yeah, actively, there's a lot of things, John, like life in general, but as we're now on the precipice of a new thing, because I'm like, I'm all in, baby. I'm fucking 10 toes deep, because the things that are gonna happen in this green room gonna blow the mind. So I'm regretting those thoughts. I'm regretting the time we didn't spend discussing this.
Mhm.
I'm regretting our complete opposite schedules, unless it's 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays. That's Wednesdays, 4 a.m. Green, which means sandwich time on Wednesdays if you're across the pond, because those the times could coincide. It's like when Jupiter was aligned with Pluto, was aligned with fucking the artist formerly known as communism.
Let's do a shot. For those who are on our stereo app, we will be playing your messages, but right after this little break that we're having. So we're going to do a shot. We're going to get out of here, and nothing's going to change for anyone listening live, just so you know.
Nothing's going to change except for John's going to jump out and jump in so we can record more. You
That's right.
guys, this is
Shut up.
everything
Shut up.
shh. This is how the fucking sausage is made. This is what we expect from the masses. Here's the future, John. Bing, bing, bing.
The cow. All right.
That's definitely unfortunate. All right, John. That's when you do that. Play the music, John.
No, I'm not going to. Hold on.
You
Doing
have
something
to.
new. Watch this. Well,
Play the fucking music, John.
thanks for listening, everyone. We have our open chat show continuing for those listening live on the stereo app right now. So if you're hearing this later and want to join us in the green room for our after show wind down, or want to throw some topics out there, email twosidedpod@email.com. Nope, that's twosidedpod@gmail.com. That's a wrap for tonight. I'm John L. Peacock out in Brooklyn, New York.
I'm my boy Pete in Southern California, and I'm not sure what's happening right now in Southern California. Not happening. What's happening? Sure.
And this was our show. You can eavesdrop wherever you get your podcasts and even join us live, both on our YouTube channel, handle @2sidedpod, all one word, and the stereo app every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, as we talk about the two sides of life, the serious and the fun, here on Two Sided. Love you, Pete.
Love you, John. Son of a bitch. Folks, that is apparently our change into the motherfucking green room, because that is perfect. All right. Fair enough. So John's in, John's out. He's a ghost. He's not. He had to jump out. He had to jump in. But now we're in the study. Now we're in my house, where it smells of rich Corinthian leather and walnut. Folks, come, gather round. Let's pull a book from the shelf and read from the tomes of the two-sided. Well, people will say things.
Well, there couldn't be too much too soon, but there could be other people who say there's not enough too late. Well, that is something you will all have to agree to disagree on. Isn't that right, John? I said, isn't that right, John? Well, fair enough. John, you're here. You're an admin. He has to go. I'll pop some packets. Here. Let's all sit down. Enjoy a nice hot toddy in the green room. I'm saying. Income tax. No taxation without representation. John. Tell him. See? Benny. My man. He gets it. So, folks, anyone in the stereo streets, thank you for tuning in. If you are, if you're in the stereo streets, click that link above our heads because we are currently, our green room is live on the YouTubes. So if you're live on the YouTubes, you can click that link. Well, I don't think there's a link for you to click. So I'm like, it's not that I'm cutting you out. Like we put something up. John will put a link up. I don't know what it's to. John, put a link up. Put a link up to Galactic Super Friends YouTube.
Or
in our YouTube.
Our YouTube for the Galactic Super Friends YouTube?
No. Our two-sided pod green room live chat that we're actively doing when they say, hey, folks, thanks for tuning in. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that alert button, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, tell your parole officer. We'll be here next week.
Right.
But also, in the comments, we're going to put the Galactic Super Friends YouTube page. I don't know if you know what's happening. Look at your face.
No, but currently the link does lead to our now, for the first time ever, live broadcasted YouTube green room. It's happening right now. So click above our heads for our YouTube channel at Two Sided Pod. And you can go to our live channel right now. And also, hey, Benny, come on. It's Communist Manifesto. It was all about the gradation of taxes for the income. That's all. The more you get, the more you give. That's all.
Right? There can be only one. All we ask is for your heart. Here, come to the top of my pyramid. Lay down on this altar.
Have you been looking at the YouTube post the show? Are people still here? Can they see us?
They can see. Faja, can you hear me? Faja, can you hear my voice? I am but a little boy somewhere in the continent. John, no. Yeah, no, they can.
Okay.
Muse is just like I need you because I don't have the admin for the YouTube, so I can't see who else is here. There's other people here. I can't see who they are. I can only see people who chat. And right now, Muse is fucking. Why you gotta be putting my voice out like that, John? Are you recording me? Hey, if you're a cop, you have to tell me you're a cop.
Ah, bookends. Callback. Yes. Cuban B. Hey, I threw a lot at you. I feel, hey, I'm proud of you. My boy Pete. Listen, everybody, little pulling back the curtain. There was no curtain, so we're pulling it back to nothing. I didn't give him any of this, and I made a lot of adjustments this week, and my boy Pete rolled with the punches. We're in the green room. You're watching him react live. He's a little dumbfounded. He's a little confused, but he is rolling with it. He's doing great. Good show, my boy Pete. Good show.
John, I'll have you know that dumbfounded is pretty much my normal state of being. So, when people ask me how you feel, I say, I can't believe. And then fill in, it's not butter. This is not my life. This is not my beautiful car. As the days going by.
Wait, some people are believing that some of our backgrounds are not real. My boy Pete, is your background real with that rich Corinthian leather?
No, 100%. I put that fucking shitty gas painting of Albert Einstein back there for John's amusement, just to poke fun at his predilection for string theory.
Which isn't showing up at all.
This is how I truly live. This is my
who
life.
I really am.
Look, up here, these are fucking encyclopedias. All of these motherfuckers, I'm a learned man.
You fraud. I, on the other hand, hey, look how I move things around and nothing changes because this is not digital. And also, my computer cannot support anything digital. Right. This has to be real.
That's an insane asylum right there. Look at me. Hey, I can run it into all the walls and it won't even hurt my face. Not hurt at all.
Do you see the puppet? Pete likes to ignore that one.
Fuck your puppet, John.
What about the one behind it? Oh no.
You know, hey, bro. Here's you, man. Actively fuck your puppets.
I've just made my boy Pete uncomfortable, just so you know. I hit a button. I haven't done that in a while. Let's do a shot and get past this real quick because I realized what I've done.
You're like, oh, this is the first time we've done the green room. Like, let me be a fucking kid doing fucking show and tell. Look at these things in my life and this stuff. I'm like, fuck you, John. Like, everybody gets it. You're a weird fucking dude. Yeah, of course you have puppets. I'm not even going to look at you because I can't. I'm having a hard time, John. I don't even want to look at your fucking screen. You're a fucking menace to my goddamn society.
You've been a puppeteer before. Nope. You enjoy being a puppeteer.
Shut the fuck up, John. I need you to shut the fuck up about. Puppets. Shut the fuck up. All right, I'll drink with you, but I will not look you in the puppety eye.
Wait, hold on. I don't have my shot ready. Okay, I'm ready. Okay, cheers.
Bink, bink, bink. Look at that. I drink so hard I disappear from the goddamn library, John.
It's so real. It's so real.
You know what's so real?
my disdain for your attitude and your fucking tone of voice.
No, it's
Fuck
not.
your tone. Fuck your tone of voice, John. You're not better than me. Shut the fuck up.
That's as real as your background. That's as real as your background. It's gonna disappear after a shot or two. Cheers.
I'm gonna let you finish. Taylor Swift. I'm gonna let you finish, but Travis Kelce. There you go.
Hey everyone, you're welcome for listening.
Oh, John, actively fuck your couch. Oh, Jesus.
Oh well, that was a big one.
So are you, let me ask you this. We're in the green room. There's no fucking current to pull, so fuck these motherfuckers. You're the administrator of our YouTube. Can you see the 4 motherfuckers who are watching other than me? There's me and 3 people. I know fucking Muse is here. I'm guessing Jules is here. Because I'm going to start texting people. They were giving me fucking shit about not putting the green room on, and now you're not here. I'm going to call in from... I wake up goddamn early in the morning to get into my library to have some fucking shots to be ready for this show by 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, John. And then, John, look at you. You're not even caring. You're like now focused on the YouTube admin shit. Look at him.
Concurrent viewers, 3.
Hi. Oh, now the 4th person dropped off. They're like, I don't want to be seen. Like I as soon as I said that, I watched them drop off. I know who the 3 people are, John. I see 4 people in the listenership, and I see 3 on the YouTubes. You guys,
they don't give us it. They don't give us it. You need to stop saying that. I don't get it. Neither do you.
I know. Oh, you're right.
They're only exposed when they chat. So keep on chatting, everybody.
John,
we're all in this together.
This is, yeah, no, we're all, this is why the green room doesn't take place. It's like all the fucking, the things we say out loud, like, fuck you, John. Like, oh, we don't say that. We don't say, fucking, I wasn't hugged enough as a child. Like, you don't say that. Like, you don't say any of these things. Like,
no.
Right.
I only get 3 watching now. Started streaming 2 hours ago. Nope. 2 hours. Wow.
You don't say that. You don't say that either. Because now, after you've checked me, now we just move on. We pretend none of this ever happened. And we hope that this doesn't come out in my political campaign when I'm running for comptroller next year, John. I'm saying 2025 is my year for local comptroller, Los Angeles County. Folks, if you believe in law and you believe in order, well, you're in the wrong fucking candidate for comptroller. Woo!
No Nixon here, baby.
I believe in Escape from LA. More of a Snake Plissken from Escape from New York, but I believe in bringing that to Southern California in my comptrolling positions.
My boy Pete, as the head runner of the Freak Party for comptroller position in Southern California, what is your platform on showing who is watching live on YouTube channels?
Here's the deal, man. I don't believe in blowing people's spot up, but I believe in blowing people up. I don't support the troops, but I support the hell out of the war. Right? So if you give your vote to my boy Pete, I'll vote for you after I take your vote to a different country and district and give ballots to myself. Votes for votes. That's what our campaign slogan is. Nope. But none of this is now making sense. I'm going to have to meet with my core strategists and get back to you from these campaign promises.
My boy Pete, we are still live. Next, we have kitties who like ice cream. Kitties who like ice cream. Join us after these messages.
Aggressively, there's moments of greatness, John. There's when we stand as giants. We reach for the heavens and we are almost in the stratosphere. And then there's Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. John.
I condole it.
John.
I didn't know you were going to say it. I was like, oh, crap.
But it's 4 a.m. Greenwich Mean Sandwich time if you're across the pond, John.
There you go. You plowed through like me with my old bits.
No, fuck you. I have a fucking finishing move. It's a stone cold My Boy Pete stunner. Mahogany book bindings in the library. Pow!
Hey, for those who might not have seen our YouTube green room, because it's never happened before, sometimes we're a little bit more random than our show. We just play off each other and play off everyone else. And because nobody else in the stereo streets are contributing,
Christ, John. John.
Muse is saying it's pretty. Hold on.
No, here's the deal, John. Why you gotta put labels on shit? Well, because we're fucking weird. Because we do the thing and no one's contributing to the thing.
No, you're gone. Reconnecting.
God damn it. I know you're on the stereo and you can't hear me on the stereo, right? And I went because I was trying to fucking, and I'm back. I know, Sean, I know. But sometimes I have to just fucking exit out because I can't stand your bullshit anymore.
And I realized since I bottomed out, keep going.
But John, there's other times when technological difficulties get the best of me, and also I leave the chat. So, John, what I'm saying right now is it's little of column A, a lot of column B. But what I need you to know, John, I know you take it as a joke, but I take it to heart. I have a fucking tattoo on the small of my back that says, "You label me, you negate me."
Yeah, but you do accredit it to Dick Van Patten, which is not technically correct.
Right. No, but Mel, the cook on Alice, says the best offense is the best defense, and that is across my shoulder blades.
Yeah. That's also a really good close to correct quote.
Right. No, I know. And that's why I said put it on my scapulas. He's like, it's incorrect. I'm like, I'm going to put it in your shoulder blades. I'm like, fair enough. Like, it's wrong. I'm like, put it back there then. I insisted. And he fucking digressed to the better fucking position. John, you think I won't roll with your shit? You think this is my first fucking rodeo, bro?
No.
You think I fucking show up with nothing to do all day? John, hold on. Motherfucker, I'm gonna roll up my goddamn sleeves and I'm gonna get to goddamn business. Somebody hold my goddamn baby. I'm taking my earrings off. This motherfucker right here. Fucking John. Jesus H tits. Here's the deal, folks. We're not a smart people, right? All right. Now, John, shut the fuck up. We're not a smart people.
We're not a good people. Yeah, shut the fuck up. We're not. You're going to be like, oh, but we do this and we fucking give to charity and I fucking tithe. And like, what is Christianity? And we go through that shit. We don't have the time for that, John. We're not a good goddamn people, John. We're a fucking clinical people. Believe in the betterment of society. We believe that land and property should be given back to the people. We believe that fucking schools should be goddamn free. But there should be no education, but you'd also learn a trade and then work for the fucking state. Isn't that right, John?
Essentially.
And we also believe, John, don't we, John, that all of us are as equal as some of us, but more of us are better equals in theory than the others. Isn't that right, John?
Oink, oink to that.
Yeah, here we go. Now we're getting somewhere, John. All right, John.
Where was this? Where was this during our show?
Because fuck you, John. You limit me, man. Like, how am I going to go on this level? Because you're going to be like, gotta say these things. Like, because you're not as free and fucking freewheeling. You're not ready to go with me on fuck you bullshit. I got fucking bylines. I got guidelines. You're very, very aggressive in your strict proletariat beliefs and things. Like,
I ain't no bourgeoisie, man.
I'm unsure, John. I'm unsure. Here's the deal. I'm going to put a pin in this, John. I'm going to put a pin in this because I want to tell you about some things, because Green Room, we've given it a bad rap. The Green Room is about sharing. The Green Room is about open honesty and openness. The Green Room is about talking about things that I found this week that are fucking pretty cool. Folks, if you like this, wait till you get a load of this. There's some weird shit called I don't know, Jumanji? I'm just going to call it Jumanji. It's not. But now that I'm saying it out loud, like, it's fucking so Jumanji. Like, it's a journey. Anyway, you fill this form. It's a UK-based company. And you say, here's my likes, here's my dislikes. If I had to, would I stay in an apartment? Would I stay in a hotel? Do I want this? Do I want that? I hate this? I hate that. Like, you answer all these questions, right? And you say, I would spend, and you want to do like 5 days, or like they make you do for a week, and like what your average is, how much do you want to spend for a week per person of whatever your thing is? And it's like $2,500, but it's a fucking week wherever. But they have all the meals, all the fucking events, all the like kayaking, all the excursions, all the shits, all the whatever. But the kitsch of it is, you don't know what it is. You answer all these questions, this questionnaire.
It's the game.
You send in your money, and you get an envelope, and you have your passports, and you have whatever. You have your envelope, and they've made all your reservations, all your things, and you open your envelope, and it's a postcard of like, we're going to Peru, we're going to British Isles, we're going to like whatever. You just fucking open your shit,
Tahiti.
And like you take your week-long vacation or your whatever, and like, oh, we're going biking across the Alps, or fucking,
it's the game with Sean Penn and Michael Douglas.
We're doing opium in Tibet. John, fingers crossed for opium in Tibet.
I mean, if you answer your questions correctly, the only thing they can do is opium in Tibet.
You guys fucking did you not read my questionnaire? How do you not give me opium in Tibet?
I went through opium in Tibet, and all I got was this T-shirt.
I answered all my questions for opium. I was like, I would do a 4-day. I would do a 2-day, just opium and back. They're like, nope, you're going to Peru and fucking diving with the fucking dolphins. Like, Peruvians don't even speak dolphin. This is bullshit.
The opium is illegal to the point of death in Peru. No, Tibet.
But have you ever done? But okay, here's the deal, John. But have you ever done opium with a dolphin? Because that's pretty fucking enlightening. I've heard that's dolphin for opium is dope as fuck.
So this is this is a syringe at this point.
I'm just a vessel taking a trip that a fucking company on the internet sends me on at the airport, John.
Do you want to play a game?
I definitely do. I definitely do. John, would you like to fuck around and like, because they say, what airport do you go from? Miami, LAX, like they give you the big hubs
JFK.
in the US. They say US but it's a UK based company.
So Heathrow.
Hear me out, bud. Yeah, that's an airport. You want to name any more?
Well, it's the main one in the UK. Yeah.
Charles de Gaulle, because that's in Europe. What about fucking in
Leningrad? Fucking listen, Qantas doesn't fly here. It's too cold for fucking Aussies. Oi, oi, oi.
This guy gets it.
Okay, so I'm doing JFK to Heathrow or Gatwick to whatever.
Doesn't matter. But you're not doing anything. You're answering the questionnaire. Do you like? I don't want to be touched. I don't want massages. I don't want a bike. I only want massages. I want food. I only want art. I only want beautiful villages. I only want beaches. I only want. So you say what you only want, what you don't want. Okay. And you answer all these questions, and then you say, what airport do you want to fly out of? And you say, here's the list of the U.S. airports. Here's the list of the
LAX, JFK, right?
John, shut the fuck up. Are you going to name all the fucking motherfucking airports in the goddamn U.S.?
R2.
I know. JFK, LAX, Boise, Tacoma, Indiana, Minneapolis, Dallas, St. Louis, Salt Lake City. What the fuck are you doing with their time in life? John, we have this much time in life, and you're ruining it. God damn it.
Okay, you say what you want to fly out of, or what you can fly out of, and
then they say, would you come back? Do you need to come back to the same airport, or would you be willing to come back to a different airport?
Okay.
That is the end of the questions of those. Okay. And then they go like, how much do you want to spend? And they say 7 days that per person. If you do a 7-day, because it's a tour of here's these things, like every day is a thing, or at least they put you in a place to do a fucking awesome thing for a day.
Yeah.
They say per person is like 20 like pounds, and I believe pounds are like shekels or shillings.
Kopecks.
I'm unsure. Yeah, you gotta pick a pocket or two, John. Oh, you got to pick a pocket or two, John. You got to pick a pocket or two, John. Large amounts don't grow on trees. You got to pick a pocket or two. So here's the deal, bud. So it's like 2,500 pounds or shekels,
or Corix, right? Yeah,
wallets, farthings. It doesn't matter.
Andersons.
Doubloons. Fuck, are we dealing with pirates now? Pirates! Fuck, pirates! But you like do that shit and then you're like, cool. And they'll send you a thing like, all right, are you fucking down? Like, do you want to fuck? Are you down to fuck? Yeah, I'm with it. And then you put your money in and like, yeah, we got it for 2,100. We got it for 2,800. And it's like, if you go, that's like one person or two people. And that is how they don't, it's not a group, it's one or two. So it's
Single or
person,
couple.
Single or couple.
No.
So you can do it by yourself and like, dude, like, let's get it. Like, if you want to fucking
or
go.
Partnership. Like a two-sided partnership.
I'm just, but I'm saying they do these, and then you show up at the airport, and all the fucking videos are like people just opening envelopes and like, we're going to Portugal, we're going to Greece, like, fuck yeah! But it's every day. Here's you go to this hotel, and here's your fucking tour, and here's your next shit, and here's your next shit, and here's your next shit, and it's every day. You have things happening, and you've already paid for.
Okay.
And all you have to do is fucking show up with a passport.
Okay.
Like it's already paid for.
Okay. Yeah. So I was leaning into the whole game thing where like they're pushing you to your extreme. What this is like a guided tour, which a package deal, but you don't know what it is, and so it's cheaper for you. Is that kind of
like
they build it around what you like, but you don't get to decide.
It's not cheaper for you.
Oh, it's not.
No.
Oh, what's the point?
No. Do you like adventure?
No.
Do you want to go? No. You're like, I want to fucking kill a hobo in a street fight. It's like, all right, well, welcome to the most dangerous game. John L. Peacock, you're a fucking animal. And you, sir, have passed the humanity test.
Oh, if
you're
it's
going
that,
to a special.
Yeah.
You're a fucking idiot. Jesus Christ. His colon is the strongest muscle in his body. Look at him, folks. He's a big fucking asshole.
But it's the whole system is looking at what you like and catering it to that, but you don't get to know what it is until it happens. Yes.
Right, correct. The idea is you don't know what country you're going to.
Right.
Once you get to the airport, you don't know where you're going. You get to your hotel, you don't know where your next day is. They give you your itinerary.
Right.
Once you get there, but you don't know anything about anything. But
it is catered around your questions, your answers.
They know I don't want to swim. They know I don't want to be touched in a massage. They know I don't want to fucking fist fight my father because he fucking left my mother in a horrible fucking cigarette getting accident. I still say it's an accident, Dad. Anyway. Last vacation.
He's really good at boxing.
Last vacation I went on, they're like, do you want to fist fight your father? It's like, that'd be cool. And it's like, it was not cool. You're an idiot for fucking co-signing some of this bullshit. You're a fucking idiot.
And nobody is chiming in. They're like, let's see where this goes next.
Hey, man, y'all ever seen a fucking real slow motion train wreck? Well, look at these fucking assholes right here.
To the one person on the YouTube, the whole reason why we did this, my man Muse, Captain Jack Sparrow. No, it's just the Kegels.
What are you talking about?
On the YouTube chat.
One. Yeah, no, I know. You say one. Again, you're putting labels on shit that is not correct. So
who is chiming in?
Hey, bud.
Yeah.
Remember we were like, hey, bud. I don't invite you into my fucking library often, John. And when I do, I expect some sort of decorum.
And thus far, my good sir, thus far, you have failed to impress. So, what I'm going to need from you is a little less talky and a little more shut the fuck uppy.
Okay.
I'm just fucking around. You're a good guy. Anyone who lives in an insane asylum is good with me. I'm with you, bud.
Anyone who invites someone to their library directly from an insane asylum gets what they deserve.
Yeah, here's the deal. They locked you up for too long, John. Long John. John, that reminds me of a book I'm going to get you from back here. Long John Ginger. It's about I'm unsure what you're doing. So I'm going to put this book back. And I will invite you to leave. Thank you, sir.
Let's do a shot, buddy.
Well, yes, I will. Well, I suppose. Well, if there is.
And anyone who's listening and wants to watch us, pop onto the YouTube, just click on the link above, and you will see the stupidity that is we.
John, it's not stupid, Teddy.
Is it not,
John?
Is it not?
It's not. It's not.
It's
It's
not.
not, John. It's stupidity. Stupidity, you, John.
Stupid to us.
Yeah, no, there's no more stupid to us, John. I'm breaking from this fucking conglomeration. I will no longer be part of this union of stupidity.
Cheers, buddy.
All right, bud. All right, we'll table this. We'll get back to it. Cheers. Me. I disappeared from the library.
His background is so real. Mine is not.
Oh, shit. Are you still talking about this topic?
No.
I just got a message. Like they're like, are you for sure? Like, why you gotta judge me, Stereo? Why you talk shit to me, Stereo? Oh, are you sure? It's just the same thing, John. When's the last time you got hammered and searched for some bullshit on your search engine? I'm gonna go on a limb and say y'all motherfuckers use Google. I do too. Sometimes I feel like an asshole. I specifically type in Ask Jeeves.
I go Yahoo.
But doesn't matter, John. And they're like, did you mean gingers are stupid? Like, I didn't. What does that mean? Like, how do you know? I was asking about movie times. Are you sure you're not an idiot? Man, some bullshit. I don't like to be corrected by my interwebs, John. Long story short, I'm not a smart person, but fuck you, internet. I saw Terminator. I know how this fucking shit ends. All right, maybe not that bad.
Hey, you may not be a smart person, but you're better than a smart TV. I'm going to tell you that.
What? I'll be honest, I can't focus on looking at as many pictures of a smart TV because someone shows me like 2 of their kid. I'm like, yeah, that's good. I'm good. Like, they're still kids, right? Fair enough. Good.
I just saw a video of a dude screaming at 6 a.m. on the Bronx to Manhattan subway that smart TVs are where government are watching you do everything. And that wasn't like on the internet. That was my coworker. He's like, hey, this is what happened this morning. And he showed me, smart TV, they're watching you, they're taking a dump, and also 6 a.m.
Got to get pretty early in the morning to start watching people on smart TVs, John.
That's right.
That's what I found.
That's right.
Bro,
100%. That was the thing with the Xbox. When the Xbox One came out, that was a big thing they had, because you signed their agreement to do the camera play
Sure.
of like the
Service
Dance
agreement.
Dance Revolution or whatever. But the agreement was they could keep their camera on all the time, so anyone working could just log into your camera and see what you're doing.
Right.
Which is fucking awesome. Oh, goddamn.
But the proletariat fought back, right? And now that's no longer allowed with the Xbox.
Yeah, they ruined it for all of us, John. My whole thing is I keep webcams just fucking posted all around. I have 3 toilet cams that I put in myself.
I
don't
know.
watch them.
I visit you.
But
I know.
Right, but they're all on the fucking web. Like, anyone who comes in, they sign a waiver. FYI, you are being filmed where you most expect it.
In the toilet.
Well, I don't know where your mind goes, John. You fucking dirty fuck.
You said
It
3
could be
toilet cams.
It could be the fucking. No, I said it could be the front porch where you most expect it. Your goddamn deviant son of a bitch head goes to fucking toilet cams. You're an animal. You're the reason we can't have nice things. Fucking shit, John. I live in a library smelling of rich Corinthian leather and walnut, and you, sir, bring toilet cams to the table.
You live in a library, and I live in an insane asylum, and one of us is not telling the truth. Oh, unfortunately, we have to go soon because Gingy needs his sleep. I gotta get up in the morning.
All right, fair enough. Throne of lies, falsehoods. Whatever you need to do to sleep for your 2 hours a night.
We are going to.
All right, man.
We're going to end the YouTube, and we're going to end the stereo. But those on Patreon, if they so choose, can pop into our Zoom with the known link. So, my Pete, let's do one more shot for the public, for the opium of the masses.
Right. But if anyone has a hookup on any opium, that would be super cool if you emailed us at twosidedpod@gmail.com. That's TWOsidedpod@gmail.com. Not because we do it, because we want to stamp it out. But also,
we stamp it out in our own way.
They can't do it if we do. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. You're welcome for listening. This works.
All right, bud. Well, good luck to you in the future. I will write you a letter of recommendation. As the dean of stupid ginger students, you're one of our top people. Granted, most of them die in the sun year 1. So you sir, are a fucking legend. Anyway, good luck. Good journeys. Good morrow.